Season 4 finale of Invincible just dropped. I put my peepers on it nice and early this morning. I got up real excited, and I gotta let you know I wasn't let down. I thought it was a really strong finale to a very strong season. But I'm gonna rip the band-aid off right now. I'm not gonna sugarcoat this. Grip your chair right now, sports fans, because it's about to get spicy. The animation blows major ass. I don't think anyone's surprised to hear me critique that aspect of this show. And I understand, I've heard the cope about why it's so stiff and bland because of, how tight the schedule is to get it out, that kind of thing. I understand that, and not wanting to work the animators to the bone in order to meet the deadlines. I get all of that. So then, let's play ball with a little thought experiment here. What if we don't have it come out on such a strict timeline and give the animators more time to flesh it out to make it look even better? I am not someone that needs the jingling keys at all moments of a show. A lot of my favorite shows are slow burns. Invincible is not that. Every episode of Invincible, basically, has action. So when you have an action-heavy show where the action looks like action figures colliding in this weightless fucking of nothing, it's jarring and feels underwhelming, taking the wind out of the sails of a show that carries so much momentum through extraordinary writing. But since they like to have everything end in an actual physical fight, when it stands out like this for being really not great, it just kind of sucks. Like PNGs floating around. There are multiple moments in Season 4 that are reminiscent of fucking Garu sliding down the hill in One Punch Man Season 3. And honestly, if this show wasn't so action right up in your titties at all times, I wouldn't care as much because the writing is so strong and I'm really invested in this world and these characters. But with every episode basically having fighting in it and it looks this bad, it stands out a lot and it becomes a big eye-rolling moment. And I know everyone likes to shoot spitballs and bukkake on episode 4 of this season, the one where they go to hell and it feels like filler. That is the most egregious example of it, but it's not just reserved for that. Pretty much all fights, every time they clash, looks like that, save for the key moments. And this is where it shows that they have the talent, they have the ability to make beautiful animated fights and these incredible, breathtaking sequences. They save that for the most pivotal moments, like Conquest Round 2, the fucking remix, or Nolan and Thrag, or really just everything with Thrag getting involved there. Which I get makes sense from their budget and timeline to focus those resources there to elevate those moments because they are so important and it is a huge fight moment. But because it's used so seldomly in the season, it just lets you know what could have been if they decided to actually, maybe pump the brakes a little bit on the cutthroat release schedule and let the whole season get this treatment. It would make everything so much better, in my opinion, and I would personally be fine with a longer wait in between seasons if the entire season can look like that, or look like how it did in Season 1. I praised the animation in Season 1 right when Invincible started. I thought it was beautiful. I thought they did a great job with all of it, and apparently that took 3 years to do, so I understand that might not be feasible, and that is a much longer wait in between seasons, but surely there's got to be a Goldilocks zone in here somewhere in the pipeline where you get great animation and a timely-ish release, where it doesn't, just fucking fall into the Stranger Things category of everyone forgetting about it in between seasons. My point is, this show is an incredibly good show. I love Invincible. I think it is captivating. I think it is so fucking strong. But I am constantly let down with the animation now because it just seems to get progressively weaker. So I would just love if that could be spruced up a bit to get back to its former glory of animation quality or something at least closer to it. But anyway, I don't want to harp on that too long because I do have a very positive takeaway from this season. I was very, very entertained. As I said, I am very invested in the world and the characters, and I think Season 4 gives you so much to chew on because it brings in, I think, the most interesting character, which is Nolan. Omni-Man is doing everything he can to try and atone for his sins, but this show doesn't just flip the switch like, oh, he's a good guy now, so we all have to forgive him. It plays with this very complicated character and this very messy man as he's battling his own demons and trying so desperately to prove that he has changed. But with his whole family devastated by what he's done, no one can trust him and everyone's afraid of him. It is so well written that it's not just like this instant switch that gets flipped where everyone's like, okay, we love Nolan now. See how great he's doing. Let's all pat Nolan on the ass. All right, let's go suck a fart out his butt. Nolan's a good guy now. Yeehaw. They put him in his place, let him know what he did is fucked up and that he probably will never be able to actually get forgiveness for it. And Nolan starts to wrangle with that too and starts to accept that they're probably right. He probably won't be forgiven, but he's going to keep trying because now he knows what's right from wrong, and it's what he wants to do. It's so well delivered. I genuinely think they have done an incredible job with Nolan, and it's not like his relationship with Mark and Oliver instantly get repaired because now they're fighting in this war to eradicate the rest of the Viltrumites to save Earth and everyone they care about. They don't just instantly become, this perfect father and son relationship, but slowly and surely they do start to connect again on a human level. And I also really liked Thrag. He lived up to the hype. He is menacing, he is imposing, and he is by far the strongest character we've seen yet. We haven't even seen him so much as, feel the impact of something. Every blow that was landed on him, he allowed it to land in order to assess the strength of Mark. And at every point, he just aura farms and lets him know that this is disappointing, this is underwhelming, and they stand no fucking chance. Even Space Racer, who has the anti-everything weapon, Thrag doesn't even blink at it. It can one-shot Viltrumites, it fucking one-shots planets, and Thrag just aura farms on top of it. He literally just Gangnam Styles on it. He doesn't care. He is that powerful. It is extremely cool. And speaking of Space Racer, let me talk about the group that the Coalition has put together. Overall, I really like everyone here. I think Alan is still a very enjoyable character. I like Space Racer. I do think they kind of have to nerf him because he's so powerful. He has the anti-everything doohickey, the gun that can just fucking wipe out the universe by itself, really, if he so chooses. So in order to, compensate for that, he kind of has to be like a moron. And he's not even stupid either, because he also, during the showdown with the remaining Viltrumites, he has, an entourage of Ragnar, which are also an anti-Viltrumite species, their claws. They're basically these tiny little fucking dinosaur lizards that can hurt Viltrumites and tear them to pieces, the only ones that can do that, really. So he brings them on, leashes and throws them at them, projectiles, which is very cool. So he's not stupid, but he doesn't utilize his gun or his motorcycle all that well. If he was just smarter and more proactive, he could probably end this entire war by himself, but he just doesn't. I still think he's very cool, but you have to kind of suspend disbelief for a moment for a guy that has a weapon that powerful. Now, another character that gets brought into this group is Tech Jacket, and she has this Galadrian technology that is very powerful, repairs itself, is able to keep up with everyone. But I gotta tell you, she doesn't really do a whole lot. What she does do is important, where she hides herself and Alan on the Viltrumite ship. That obviously is big, but in a fight, all she does is just shoot beams, right? She shoots these meaningless beams that don't do anything, and they just mosquito bites basically the Viltrumites, and then she runs away. But she's able to tank some hits from the Viltrumites, which is impressive, but I don't think she brings a whole lot as of right now. During the skirmish with the Viltrumites, she did have the Surlock poison where it does make them vulnerable, so she was shooting that, which is helpful. But I feel like any character could have done that because it's basically a fucking blow dart of poison. It wasn't really something Tech Jacket brought to the table as something only Tech Jacket could do. So right now, I'm not really sold on Tech Jacket being a instrumental component of this group that's going to be so important in ultimately winning this battle against the remaining Viltrumites. I was a little underwhelmed there, but I don't think she's a bad character. I just don't think she had a lot to do here, but maybe that changes in the next, season, couple seasons, whatever it looks like. Oliver in this season also gets a lot to do. He starts to uh, bond with Nolan while Mark is healing from the Conquest rematch. And I think they did a good job of exploring that relationship because Oliver overheard his father saying that he never cared about, his mother or anything like that. It was an accident, it shouldn't have happened, that kind of thing. So Oliver now feels like, his father doesn't even fucking respect him, doesn't want him, doesn't care about him, not in the same way as Mark. And that's another really complex theme that they start to tackle, and they do so gradually. So when it does ultimately end with Oliver and Nolan getting closer over the course of a few months, it makes sense. And I thought it was well executed. Oliver, though, it seems like he is constantly just sidelined during the big fights where he overestimates his own abilities, which I think makes sense for the character. They've established that, but it always ends with him just getting basically KO'd. So he attacks Thrag right away, and Thrag just fucking ragdolls him, rips his arm off, and fucks him up, and then he ends up, decommissioned for many, many months. And when the season ends, he is still recovering, but he's not dead. That just seems to keep happening to him. Like, that seems to be his major role, is like, fuck, Oliver just got blasted again. Shit, all right. It'll be a few months before we hear from him again. But, I'm assuming he'll get stronger and evolve more. Now let's talk about the star of the show, Mark. Invincible goes through hell in this season, even more so than the previous seasons, I would say. His whole life is constantly just fucking agony. It is incredible the amount of suffering he goes through. So obviously the Conquest rematch ends with him getting his fucking intestines spilled, and he's unconscious and recovering over the course of many months on this strange world. He's away from Eve, the love of his life. He's away from his home planet. He's away from his mother. He's with his father, who, very complicated relationship, understandably. And it's just misery. And even when he does finally recover, then he has to go throw down with Thrag, and Thrag blasts Nolan right in front of Mark. Mark thinks his father is dead, and then it's Mark's turn on the chopping block in the Thrag Thunderdome. He gets knocked out, unconscious. He's getting his eyes gouged out, but then Thrag shows mercy because of how few of them are left. When Mark awakes yet again after this period of needing to rest and recuperate, then he goes back to Earth thinking that the Viltrumites are there, and he is suffering from PTSD. He is constantly seeing Thrag kill people around him, but it's all in his head until the very end, which I thought this was an incredibly powerful moment. He goes for just a casual flight to clear his mind, and then he does run into Thrag. The Viltrumites are there, and Thrag reveals to him that he has a choice to make. Mark can either let the Viltrumites on his planet continue to try and rebuild their civilization through breeding with humans, which has been proven to work, thanks to Nolan, or it can be mutually assured destruction for both their species, because Thrag and the remaining 37 Viltrumites will blow up the whole planet, killing everyone there, and it will spell doom for humans and Viltrumites alike. And that is an incredibly tough thing that Mark has to battle with there, and I think it's done so well. Mark ultimately realizes that the only way is to just agree to the terms. So he does. I thought that was so fucking good. Everything they did with Mark in this season I thought was great. Even when Mark comes home, he learns about what Eve went through when he was gone, thinking that he might be dead, and how she is now pregnant and Mark's not there. So she reaches the incredibly difficult decision to have an abortion, and it's something that now Mark and Eve are now dealing with and feeling the weight of a decision of this magnitude. Season 4 really, I thought, did an incredible job of building every character and getting them to a point where you genuinely care where it goes next. And they tackle some very deep themes, and I think they do a great job with the writing. But like I said, my big complaint is the animation. If this wasn't a show that had so much action at every step of the way, I wouldn't care as much, because it would solely be, this incredible story with this incredible writing and these great characters that I care about. but because there is always a fight that happens in basically every episode, it stands out when it looks this bad. I'm sorry to say it, but it does. So I just really, really hope that maybe in the next season we can take more time here, give the animators more time to really cook it and let it breathe. Let them finally craft the fights like they did in season 1 or in the Adam Eve special. Like, just getting to something of that quality again would do wonders for the show, especially where it currently is. So anyway, I really liked season 4 of Invincible. I thought it was extremely strong. I would just really like to see more in terms of the animation. And I think that means giving the animators more time. I recognize that maybe that's not a sentiment shared by everyone. They just want to go, go, go. Please just keep feeding it no matter what. I would like to let them really, flex their talent here and show what they can deliver in terms of animation. Because you can see it sometimes throughout the series, like when the Mark vs. Conquest again, or Thrag, there are some really great animated moments. I would like to see the entire season have great animation, as opposed to just a couple of small pieces of it. Anyway, though, that's really about it. So, yeah. Last night was the Game Awards, and there was a stat that chat was regurgitating that I didn't believe. I thought it was so outlandish they must have escaped from a mental institution and were spewing a bunch of mumbo-jumbo until I checked and verified the authenticity. The claim was that last year's Game Awards had higher viewership than the Super Bowl. And I said, well, that's a bunch of fiddlesticks, no way. Super Bowl had like 120-something million viewers. It was like the most watched Super Bowl ever. No way the Game Awards beat that. Turns out it did. Jeff Keighley hung his hog on the Super Bowl numbers. 154 million global viewers. Now, Super Bowl is an event that mainly only Americans care about. I get that. Game Awards is international. But even still, those numbers blew my fucking mind, blew my ass out. So it is like a super big deal, and I watch the Game Awards every year, but had no idea it was this big. And now that I have this knowledge locked away in the old steel trap up here, it makes the Game Awards final reveal from last night even more odd, just peculiar. Because it is a blunder. That is the most important final reveal. And last night, boy howdy did that one fall flat, unfortunately. And I know a lot of people have criticized Jeff Keighley, like playfully teasing about how he'll overhype things that don't warrant that level of glaze or, anticipation, where Jeff Keighley will sometimes, get you like biting your nails like, holy shit, what's he about to reveal? Because he's hyping it up so much. Like, in my numerous decades in the industry, I've never been this excited. This is my honor, my privilege. This is the apotheosis of gaming. I present to you the world premiere for The Poop That Took a P2, as he's starting to get like tears in his eyes for it. And it's like, well, I think you oversold this one a bit, to be honest with you. Though, one that people point to is from last year where he revealed Okami. I do not think that's a good example of that, because that is not overhyped. That genuinely is extremely exciting. I fucking love Okami and cannot wait for the new Okami. But he does have a history of doing that occasionally, and last night was one of those examples for the final reveal.
Our final world premiere comes from 61 members of the team that built Apex Legends and Titanfall. 4 years ago, the principals founded a new independent studio with the hopes of pushing the shooter genre forward with a new original game.
If that doesn't put a boner in your trousers, nothing will. You cannot have a more hype introduction than that right there. Those sentences alone could make the Grinch's heart grow 3 sizes. And when I was watching this live, I actually thought for a moment we might be seeing a Titanfall 3 or, at the very least, a spiritual successor to Titanfall. But that's where they get you. Jeff's got you eating out of the palm of his hands right now. You're hook, line, and sinker buying into this delusion. Like, I have said for a long time, we will probably not see a Titanfall 3. Unfortunately, I think EA is going to kegel on that property forever and never use it for anything ever again because they didn't perform financially well for them. Even though these games are beloved, I don't think we'll ever see a new entry into this franchise. But I really was starting to buy into the fantasy here because he's mentioning that a lot of people responsible for those masterpieces have broken off and are now pursuing something new together. And you're expecting like maybe it's in a similar vein to Titanfall. Professor Utonium's in the lab and he's putting together all the ingredients of the perfect little shooter. But that wasn't what was on the menu. Instead, what was served up on the plate was a seemingly standard hero shooter. Now, I always have a great time watching the Game Awards. This year, I also had a lot of fun watching it. I just really don't understand why they would save this game as their final reveal, which is like always the most important reveal because it's the one that sticks with the viewers the longest. And it's usually reserved for the one that's gonna fucking have them, gushing grannies. And having a generic hero shooter be in that place feels really odd, and a lot of people have been kind of clowning on it for it.
Here we go. Bringing the heat.
Your light belongs to me. Forming. Blade up!
Siege tower coming in.
It's not the most exciting looking game. It's not going to put you on the edge of your seat there. And it does give me a similar vibe to Concord when that was revealed, unfortunately. And a lot of people have taken to calling this Concord 2. Even though the game's not out or anything yet, it does kind of have a lot of similar DNA to it from the look of the gameplay here. And it just feels like a game that shouldn't have been saved for last as like the big oorah. This should have just been a game that they show somewhere in the middle or towards the beginning where it's like, hey, this game's also right around the corner if you want another hero shooter. Like if you're really salivating for more hero shooter action, here comes Highguard. Like that makes sense. It just doesn't really compute why they would have this be the final reveal. I think what would have fit here best actually was the Star Wars KOTOR game. They have a new KOTOR coming out called Fate of the Old Republic, and that was extremely hype. I think if they had saved Fate of the Old Republic for the final reveal, that would have been a big pop-off moment. Because that is something that a ton of people, myself included, cannot wait for. And now I need to go back and replay KOTOR 1 and 2, because it is so cool. That is something people have really wanted. Whereas with Highguard, I feel like there's more people asking for the common cold than more hero shooters. And especially from such a talented team that have put together games like Titanfall, you would hope that they'd spread their wings a bit more than just like a hero shooter game. So it's just one of those things that is underwhelming for a final game reveal. Anyway, though, I had a great time watching the Game Awards. As I do every year, it's become a tradition, and I always think Jeff Keighley and his team put on a really impressive and really entertaining show, and I really appreciate all the hard work that goes into it. Though I will say I think this year there is a lesson to be learned in the amount of nominations a game can get. With the E33 sweep, I do think there maybe needs to be some kind of limitations in place. I said from the second the credits rolled on that game that it was special, and it is in my top 20 favorite games of all time. I think it is a full-blown, full fucking chub masterpiece. But that being said, I don't think it should be in every category that it was in, even if it could fit into that category, like the most contentious is the indie game category. While yes, it is by definition an indie game, I do feel like it shouldn't be there to give room to other games to shine in that category. Like, it is an unbelievable game. And by being as good as it is and in every category that it was present, it drowned out a lot of other extremely impressive games from this year. 2025 was genuinely an amazing year for games. There were so many super slappers, absolute bangers out the wazoo, but if you only watched the Game Awards, you would think that it was just Expedition 33, really. And that's a shame. I do think E33 deserves like the Game of the Year win and many of its other wins, because I do think that does epitomize what the games industry should be about. A team of passionate creators that all banded together under very unlikely circumstances with a very wild way of assembling this team of creatives to create something that's really not been done before to the degree in which they did it with the budget that they had, apparently less than $10 million. It is an unreal story, and the person at the head of Sandfall, he is like a gamer's gamer. That guy, I've watched a couple of his interviews, he is always singing the praises of the GOATs that have came before him, and he's not just doing lip service, he knows his shit. Like, this is a guy who lives and breathes this medium that wanted to do something truly special in it. And I think they succeeded. And it's great to see the reception be as positive as it is to their art. I'm very happy for that team, and I think it deserves all of the glaze that it gets. But when it comes to the Game Awards, I just think it would have been best if it was reserved for, a handful of the categories that it was nominated in. And I also think that would have been better for Expedition 33 overall as well, because when people who aren't overly familiar with it see it keep winning everything, it makes them tired of it. It makes them soured on E33 as a whole. I saw a comparison drawn by a lot of people about, like, the Patriots when they were on their dynasty run winning everything. People fucking hated the Patriots because they were so good. Expedition 33 is having a similar phenomenon. It won so much, people now just hate it by default. Like, they don't want to engage with it anymore. They'd rather spit and shit on it and that kind of thing. I just overall feel like less is more in this case, where it'd be in its strongest categories, like voice acting, narrative, music, and game of the year, that kind of thing, as opposed to like 13 categories. Because it is a lot, and it does unfortunately push out some of the other extremely good games from the year. Like Kingdom Come 2 didn't win anything, but I feel like, by all definitions, it should have won Best RPG of the Year. It's just, I love Expedition 33, and I'm super happy to see it do so well. But for the awards here, I would really have liked to be able to celebrate some of the other great games that also came out this year. Like I said, this was an extraordinary year for banger titles releasing, especially in the indie category. So many good indie games came out this year. But anyway, I'll stop yapping about it. That's really about it. So yep. It's been a little too long since I took a peek at the latest and greatest Whatnot crash outs. They always tickle me, but I've just been absent, and today I've had the itch, so I went to see what's been going on with Whatnot sellers crashing out.
Okay. Back bottom right. Okay. MP is the craziest shit for this card I've ever heard of in my entire life.
A little bit of background on the terminology here. MP typically refers to the condition of a card moderately played, which means you can see a little wear and tear on it with a little bit of too much love, passion, and goo and stuff like that. So moderately played would mean that the condition of the card isn't pristine. The card he's showing off is very clearly not moderately played, and the person who said MP clarified that they were talking about market price. They are new to Pokemon, and they were saying that they found the market price MP for this card at like $300 or something, and this guy's about to go ballistic all off of that misunderstanding.
I'm sorry. I would never do this in a million years, but Sheldon, this guy can go fuck his mother. Get the fuck out of here. I just want to let you know that that's the first guy since I've been streaming under this guy that I've ever kicked out of the stream.
You can actually hear the steam coming out of his ears. He is overflowing with rage. I don't even know what there is to get that angry about. Even if the guy was saying it looks moderately played, just be like, Buster, I disagree. Like, it's not even that big of a deal. It's not like it was blasphemous or, like, sinful or anything. But he gets so upset that he starts fumbling basic words. So he's like, I would never do this in a million years, but Sheldon, go fuck your mother. Also, this is the first guy that I'm kicking out since I've been streaming on this guy. He is seeing red and now fumbling words. So now he's saying he's streaming on this guy or whatever when he's trying to say, like, since I've been, fucking hawking shit on Whatnot, this is the first person I'm terminating, banishing into the Shadow Realm.
I've never kicked anybody out of any stream I've ever done in my entire life. But to call this card MP, your mother can go fucking sit and spin on it and literally go never buy you sprinkles on your ice cream in your entire life. Sheldon, you know I love you, but like, go fuck that man. The fuck is this MP? Your fucking mother wishes she was MP and wish she put it in her. What the fuck?
This dude is very weirdly stun-locked on his mother. He's got a real mama thing going on here. Sheldon, it's your mother. Go fuck your mother. I hope she never buys you sprinkles for your ice cream again. Your mother wishes it was MP when it went inside of her talking about penis. Wiener, that's right. She can sit and spin on it, Sheldon. You know I love you, though, but it's your fucking mother, and she got her titties out, and how about that for MP? Get out of here. I'm kicking you. Like, what the hell is going on? This guy's got, like, more aggression over this than fucking Kratos did. Like, this guy's going berserk over nothing. All because he's misunderstanding what the guy said in the first place. He was talking about market price, and he's interpreting it as him talking about the condition of the card. But even still, what an extreme blow up over absolutely nothing, even if it was him saying moderately played. It's crazy. The only thing that would be worth this kind of crash out is if someone smells like absolute shit because they don't take care of their hygiene. And the best way of fixing that is using the right soap. And the only correct decision when it comes to soap is Cheeky. And we've got my newest scent here, which is Licensed to Clean. This is the one that I personally worked on to make as like my optimal scent. So that's available now. Use cheeky.com. You can click the link in the description for 10% off. Best soap in the universe.
We can't keep it over 20. Bree's gonna go the fuck home. Okay? That's where I'm at with it right now. No more further explanation needed. 3, 2, 1. If we can't make it over 20 for the fucking bags in play right now, I am going to go home. And we can try this shit again next week.
These are Disney bags, by the way. Cruella out here with a real fucking attitude because the price wasn't where she wanted it to be. People weren't going over $20 for this assortment of Disney merchandise. This one I just found to be really wacky because it's fucking Disney merch. Like, you would kind of expect the vendor for, like, Disney to be somewhat jolly, right? But meanwhile, you come in here and it's like, fuck you guys. You guys can all go suck a fart out of my butt. I hate you guys. Also, your mother can sit and spin on it. If this doesn't go over 20, I'm just not coming back till next week and we'll try it again. And if it happens again, well, then I'm going to come to your house and hit you with a hammer. It's what it is. Can we get this fucking Disney bag auction over 20 where it rightfully deserves to be? Or do you want to have your legs broken? The choice is yours. Up to you.
The prism of this card last sold for $4,000. We're at $700, guys. 700! No shot, bro. Literally. 2, 1. I'm never gonna sell him whatnot. Never gonna sell him whatnot. Card's fine. It's a plate. It's a fucking plate, bro. Relax. It's a plate. It's a plate, bro. You're good. Literally $4,000 cards to $700, bro. Okay, bro.
I love the way this guy screams. It's very nostalgic sounding. It reminds me of like old Xbox Live when you kill someone with Commando Pro in Modern Warfare 2. Like, it actually sounds exactly what that sounded like over the mic. And this guy, he has a big temper tantrum because this card just went for less than he thought it should. So now he freaks out and starts throwing the card and busting his little setup there.
In this slap. You ain't getting no 10 now. You're getting a damage raw card. You're getting a damage raw card.
This guy's become notorious for these kind of crash outs. So that was just another example there where he had busted one out of the slab, crumpled it up, and then said that you're getting a raw card instead. I can't find the full context around that clip there, but I would imagine it's the same song and dance that I've seen for thousands of other whatnot crash outs where the auction doesn't really go the way they want it to, so it ends up going for less than they want. And in a lot of cases, what they end up doing is just blatantly scamming and like canceling the whole thing and whatever. But in some other cases, I've seen them have like a crash out moment and then do something really childish like that. Like, fuck you. Yeah, you'll get this instead. It's a poop cake. You'll get this mud and this crud. I destroyed your card. That's what you'll get. That kind of thing. So this guy got pretty big from this. Like the clips went viral with people making fun of him. So he actually responded to it. And in this video here from Sports Card Dad, he goes over the response. It is an interesting one because basically what he's saying is that he's playing a character. It's all for entertainment. It's actually acting. He responds by saying, after being dragged through the mud for the last few days, all I can say at this point is I'm sorry to anyone viewing these posts and seeing this unfold. For these accounts to pull my crash outs out of context is honestly just unfortunate. The things I do on stream for comedic and entertainment value are nothing more than that. It's hard to understand if you are just now tuning into this drama and it's made to lowlight seemingly disrespectful moments toward cards, buyers, and the industry. Having sold over 100,000 items on Whatnot, it's confusing and disheartening to see clip after clip posted. I will say going forward, I will not be any less sarcastic, engaging, and fun, but I will absolutely lighten my antics and use this moment to retool my approach towards selling. Every buyer in the past has already been compensated, given plenty extra cards, and refunded for the apparent horror I've caused. It's funny that no matter what I say or do, this will be my reputation forthcoming. And reality is, I embrace it. I embrace being controversial, raw, and real. It's gotten me into some heat in the past, but nevertheless, have learned and grown from those moments. This is just a stepping stone in the process. There's a lot to unpack there, because these were people that bought your shit. Like, it's one thing to put on a character of, like, I don't know, I guess Mr. fucking Magoo with the turkey, and you're doing this to all the cards, like, ruining the cards and whatever for yourself for the sake of, like, being the clown. But people that paid for it wanted those things. So even if you do, like, refund them or, like, send them extra cards, it's like, okay, well, you still destroyed the thing I paid for. That kind of sucks. Like, when they buy the cards from you, are they doing it like, haha, I hope when I buy this from you, you put it in your butt. Yeah, I hope you put it way up in your ass and ruin it for me. And then give me my money back, please. But it'll be a fucking awesome moment for both of us here, the buyer and you, the seller. Like, I doubt it, especially for something like the graded card that somebody purchased, at least I believe they purchased, and he's like, no, here's what you're gonna get instead. This raw card and a bunch of spit, loser. You fucking douchebag. Like, okay, alright. Like, it doesn't really seem like he's playing a character. And he kind of contradicts himself in that statement where he says that it's all for comedy and entertainment, and then he says at the end that he's still going to keep being real. So which is it? Are your blow-ups and your crash-outs real, or, like, hammed up for comedy and entertainment? They both can't be true, because if it's hammed up for comedy and entertainment, it's not real. You know what I mean? So, like, I'm just curious which one it is. It's also just a weird gimmick in the first place to be the crash-out guy, because then why would people want to buy anything from you when there's a really good chance you just destroy it anyway? It just doesn't really even seem worth it. Then you get the refund, I guess, but, I mean, you also just could have just not spent the money there and gone anywhere else.
We're going to do 15 seconds.
The breathing technique's on.
I've already lost plenty of money, so I can't fucking lose anymore. Just, let's get it up to at least 15. Come on, come on. Okay, it's at a fucking dollar still. What are we doing? What are we doing? It's Jaden Daniels. Are you fucking kidding me? Fuck.
Oh, no.
Bullshit! Well, I'm sorry, y'all. I completely lost it. I fucked up my whole setup. All my cards went flying everywhere. And there's no coming back from that. So I'm going to go ahead and end it for the night. I mean, there's 54 y'all in here. And I'm pretty sure not any of y'all bought anything. And I'm just going to leave it at that because I'm so motherfucking pissed right now.
This one actually gave me quite a hoot and a holler because the Jaden Daniels card that he has there, I decided to look it up and I can find it listed at like $3. So he was trying to be like, this is a $15 card. No, I can't afford to have this go for just $1. No, I'm ruined if this happens. Don't let it go to $1. No, what's going on? Why is it $1? Like, clearly whoever the 54 people were in that stream knew that this was not a very valuable card and they weren't about to get fucking finessed by this guy just pretending that this is a $15 card and playing a little sad song on the violin there. And then he's just like, fuck! And then like pseudo table flips on it and then he's having like a come down moment. After the T levels spiked, then his cortisol reached up there as well. And after the cortisol spike, he simmered down and he said, you know what? Not a whole lot to do from that point forward, huh? But also, fuck you guys. There's 54 of you in here. You didn't buy anything. You let this Jaden Daniels card only go for $1. I'm done for the night. And there's so many videos just like that. There are so many crash outs on Whatnot. These are just my favorite ones from like the recent batch that I've seen. So I just wanted to share them and get a little giggle going. That's really about it. So yeah. I heard a name today that I haven't heard in many moons. Had me feeling like Robin Williams when he crawled out of Jumanji asking what year it is. That name? James Charles.
I just got a DM on here from a girl that said, "Good morning, James. I know you'll probably never see this, but if you could just take 1 minute to read it, would really mean a lot to me. I'm really struggling right now because Spirit Airlines just filed for bankruptcy and I have lost my job. Here's a GoFundMe link. Any donations help. I'm sure they do, sweetheart. I'm sure they do. You know what else would help you? Getting another job.
What a yucky douchebag. This is like cartoon villain level evil monologue here. Oh, no money, huh? No money? Bang! Shrink ray! Now you're short too, like that kind of thing. It's so over the top, stinking, oozing assholery. I cannot believe his delusional mind thought this was a good idea or like a strong look or a worthwhile dunk to be punching down on someone who's already fallen on hard times after losing their job. And they reached out to you in this desperate situation because clearly they have an appreciation of you. So they threw the Hail Mary, seeing what happens. I doubt they were expecting this kind of response. Now, of course, there is always the chance that it is fraudulent. There are so many fake GoFundMes out there, so there's always a chance that all of it is fucking fiddlesticks. It could all be baloney. I have no way of knowing that. I only have James Charles fucking Gangnam styling on this person and insulting them for it to go on, which leads me to believe that it might be real, because if it was just fake, obviously just a sham, why would he even be bothering to crash out for over 2 minutes about it? So I'm going to work under the assumption that this is a real person that has reached out about it. You could have just not responded. Like, that was also an option. You didn't need to come over here and start, like, spitting and dunking on him. Like, how dare you even message me asking for help? Are you out of your fucking mind? I'm James Charles, goddammit. And is there anything ickier than someone that has a job like James Charles telling someone else to get a job, preaching that they need to get a job? Brother, this former Spirit Airlines worker is a 10 times harder worker and has done 10 times as much labor as you ever have in your life. James Charles' entire career has been just farting out dog shit products and posting cringe videos, and he couldn't even do that without also trying to sext minors. So how dare you try and tell an actual hardworking American to go get a job as if you've done anything worthwhile and you've done like actual work. You got the easiest fucking job in life. You got dealt a very lucky hand, bro. This is so tasteless. It's so crude. Coming from James Charles of all people. So you've never been in a desperate financial situation. Great. Group hug in the shower tonight, James. Glad you've never gone through a financial struggle. This person is. And they desperately tried to reach out to you, and there's no obligation for you to try and, like, save them or anything. Obviously, there's no expectation of that, but they tried anyway because they're feeling in a rough spot. So they tried, and now you're insulting them and publicly trying to humiliate them for it. It's just so gross, bro.
Yeah, try that. Because in the time that it took you to copy and paste the same fuck-ass message to myself, who you don't follow, by the way, and probably 100 other influencers and celebrities, you could have applied for 100 other jobs, but you didn't because you're a lazy piece of shit and you're entitled. And you think that influencers and celebrities should fund your life for you. Why would I ever help you?
There's no way the word entitled just left his lips. Right? No, I must have misheard that. There's no way he said that. James Charles did. He didn't use that word against somebody else, did he? That had to be an audio glitch. I'm gonna assume that there's no way his vocal folds would even let the word entitled leave his lips. Oh my god, the lack of self-awareness would probably cause his fucking head to combust. So I'm not even gonna bother touching on that one. Holy. So let's instead look at the other stuff he said. He really highlighted that this person doesn't follow him. Who gives a fuck? There's plenty of people that I watch their stuff and engage in their content with without subscribing to them or following them on socials. That's pretty normal, actually. I don't know why he's like spiteful about that. So then he's using that to say like, oh, you must have sent this to like 100 other celebrities. Based on what, man? You're just making an assumption. You're just taking a guess. You don't know that. You could be the only person they reached out to about it because they really admired you and thought that maybe you could be that helping hand. Which again, there's no obligation for him to do, but why go this hard against them? This is fucking diabolical. And you have no idea if they've sent out job applications or not. Why are you speaking as though you're certain they haven't? They very well could have 100 job applications out there right now. The Spirit Airline layoffs are still pretty new. Getting a job right away is not like this, bro. I don't know how out of touch you are with reality and what's going on in the world around you. It doesn't happen lickety-split like that. So in the meantime, they are out income. And I imagine as a Spirit Airlines employee, they weren't rolling in dough able to afford fucking mansions and stuff, they're probably wondering where next month's rent is going to come from in the meantime in between jobs. So they reached out to you in the interim. That would be my guess. You have no clue if they've sent out job applications. It takes a while.
You're not a fan. You don't even follow me. You've never supported me. This is your first time DMing. And you think that I'm going to send you money because you lost your job? Oh my God. Welcome to the real world, sweetheart. People lose their jobs every fucking day, and you're white, pretty, and able-bodied. You're in a much better position than a lot of other people out here who are trying clearly much harder to make a better life for themselves. Why would I fucking help you?
What is Dr. Doofenshmirtz even crashing out about at this point? He's having a conniption, blowing a gasket. Over what? What are you even yapping about? You're not even making a point anymore. You're trying to tell someone else how the real world functions when you yourself haven't been a member of the real world in like a fucking decade. You are so detached from the real world, yet you're over here lecturing them about it? It's absurd, bro. You couldn't write someone this out of touch and this unlikable. He's like the Starbucks CEO about the $9 coffee and the premium experience, but wrapped up in like an insufferable asshole influencer.
Aside from that, 17,000 people lost their jobs at Spirit Airlines. Why do you think you need the GoFundMe? I can at least 1% respect the mentality of closed mouths don't get fed, doesn't hurt to try. But honestly, it does hurt to try because now you pissed me off. Okay? I'm not the one. Go find fucking Mr. Reese. This is literally his entire shtick. I'm sure the next YouTube video is literally going to be like, I rehired all 17,000 of the Spirit Airlines employees, and it's going to be the real life Hunger Games. The last one of them to leave the Spirit Airlines plane gets to be the CEO of the new company and gets a house and a car and $10 million that everybody else dies.
Stop trying to make jokes. Actually, just please stop trying to make jokes, James. Put the kibosh on it right now. It's miserable listening to him try and inject humor into anything. Why did it piss you off? How does that piss you off? Yeah, 17,000 people lost their jobs here, man. That's 17,000 people that are now out income. I imagine a lot of them are feeling very similar ways to the person that reached out to you. This person just decided to try. They decided to throw a Hail Mary. Again, you could have just ignored it. Why did it piss you off? That's a fucking you problem, man. That is a weird response to it.
Go find that video to compete in, baby. I'm not helping you. I'm not fucking helping you. All you did was lost your job, okay? Welcome to the real world. I can at least understand if you were like, James, I'm a longtime fan. Here's a trillion years of DMs and my support for you. I love you. I'm suffering with a really rare genetic disease that there is no cure for, and I'm trying to raise money for myself and other people that have this. Maybe I would help. Maybe I would help because I love you and I appreciate you. This bitch, you lost your fucking job? What are we gonna do? Nothing! I'm gonna do nothing. You know what you need to do? Go find a fucking new one, girl. Put some effort into the workplace.
Hey, pal. You just blow in from Stupid Town? He really thought he cooked with this rant. So the impression here is that the only people in the world he cares about are people that mindlessly support him through thick and thin forever. Here's a trillion DMs. Okay, now I care about you. So maybe if you had a genetic disease where you were dying and you were about to just kick the bucket, I might consider spitting on you if you were on fire. I might, because you've proven that you're a fan. And those are the only people I care about. Those are the only human beings to me, are the fans. Then I would have cared. By the way, worth reminding you, there's nothing that says that she wasn't a fan, by the way, James, just because she didn't follow you or DM you before. What an awful perspective to have on people, huh? Again, you could have just not said anything about it, but you decided to make a whole show. You decided to go fucking hog wild on it. And man, do you look like a clown talking about hard work in the real world, two things that you are not someone to be lecturing anyone on. You don't work hard, and you are not in the real world. And that's one of the biggest things, points he tries to make here. Get real. This person is just in a desperate spot, as a lot of people are and have been. And in those positions, sometimes people try a Hail Mary. That's what they did here. It clearly didn't resonate with you in any way, and for some reason really brought the demon out of you, James, for some reason. But I don't think they did anything wrong. Again, you could have just not said anything about it. And you have no idea if they are applying for jobs. It rarely happens overnight, especially currently. So in the meantime, having no income is scary and detrimental to actual working people, James. Most average workers can't just coast off of poop they shat out years ago like you can, just collecting paychecks off of the trash that you've peddled over the years passively. So, in the meantime, they made this GoFundMe, they reached out to you, and then you had this ballistic response to it. And James did get dunked on for it, so he made an apology video.
This video was fucking stupid. It was rude, it was obnoxious, it was privileged, and most importantly, it was completely fucking unnecessary. When I saw that DM, I absolutely had the choice to ignore it and say absolutely nothing at all and move on with my day. But instead, I couldn't even tell you why. Her message just triggered me, and I decided instead to make a video about it.
Put a shirt on. You don't need to get into formal attire, not asking you to put a suit and tie on, but could you do the bare minimum of at least putting on clothes? Why are you filming this video half awake in your hotel bed after a night of binge drinking and meth smoking? Like, you couldn't just do at least a tad bit more? Why do I have to watch you shirtless here, fucking like sleepwalk through your response?
And I bashed her, and it was obnoxious, and I shamed her for asking for help in a situation where she was clearly really struggling, and this could have been her absolute last resort. I have no idea what was going on in her life, and I should have never assumed that she was just copying and pasting this DM as an easy way out. I don't know. I just don't know.
Ooh, I know. Pick me. I've got my hand raised. I know. It's because you are an egomaniac. It's because you are a self-centered, self-absorbed, narcissistic piece of shit, bro. That's why you did it. You thought that you were above this person, and you thought you could actually convince your audience that what they are doing is wrong and worthy of being shamed, and you tried to even spin it in a way like hard work, when you yourself are not the product of hard work. So you tried to puff out your chest about how much it takes to get back out there with the elbow grease, pulling yourself up by your bootstraps, but the message falls flat because you, the messenger, are not that person. And you're also choosing someone who is going through a very real grievance, again, assuming all of this is a legitimate story and a legitimate person, which I have no reason to believe it's not, based on everything he's said. So, really, it was all a pile of dog shit, and you let your mask slip so people get to see even more about the real you, James. This is the real you.
My intention behind making this video in the first place was, I get a lot of messages like this every single day. And for me personally, it definitely sucks to receive messages from people that don't follow you and don't support you, treating you like our personal ATM or bank account. But what I'm sure sucks even fucking more is not knowing where your next paycheck is coming from and not being sure whether or not you're going to be able to put food on the table for yourself and your family. So it really doesn't matter what my intentions were behind making the video, because it came across as super fucking privileged and like I was basically shaming anybody that's unemployed for not trying hard enough to get a job. And I feel awful because that wasn't my intention, and it really hurt a lot of people.
This is coming across very genuine here, James, as he's falling into slumber here. It feels like I'm watching a video of someone ODing. Why did you even film it like this, man? And also, I don't understand why it even upset him in the first place, and why he says it sucks that people, treat me like an ATM. I get these random messages from people that obviously don't know anything about me and are just trying to hose me for cash. Like, yeah, that happens. That's annoying if you see it, but I guarantee most of the messages go to his management. I guarantee James doesn't see the vast majority of those, like, fake, reaching out for money type things. It's not like a telemarketer call. Telemarketers get a direct line to you, they call you, then they treat you like a little piggy bank for their trash product, and you know what happens there? You hang up. Here, these messages go into the fucking void. You'd have to go out of your way to find these, like, spam, scam, like, fraudulent things. Like, it just, I don't understand why he's making it seem like, oh, it's so hard being me, James Charles, where people reach out and they don't even care because they're asking me for money. Again, I don't think you see most of them, and the ones you do see, just ignore. Like, it takes, like, actual split seconds. If he was making a point like, friends and family are always reaching out to me just for cash, they treat me like I'm not even a human anymore, I'm just a cash ATM for them, then I'd get it, because, yeah, that sucks, that's horrible. That's not what he's saying. It's so weird, like, his view on it, at least to me, I think it's weird. I'll sum up the next section where he tries to, like, relate to the average worker, saying that he knows how hard it is in today's job market. I know people looking for a job, and it sucks, getting ghosted and stuff like that. So now he's saying, like, oh, I get it, it's super, I relate. That's now his big thing that he's saying in this section. And then he goes on to talk about how he recognizes that he got really lucky with his makeup tutorials, so now he's got the position he's in, and now in his position he needs to learn how to humble himself.
And for anybody that saw that video and was disappointed or upset with what I said, I am super sorry, especially to the woman from Spirit Airlines. I did try to look for her message earlier before making this video, and I couldn't find it. If you see this video and you want to get in touch, I would love to apologize to you directly and to help you out a little bit. But if you are not comfortable with that, I totally understand too. I really appreciate anybody that sent me a message or left a comment about this video today, letting me know how insensitive it was. I really needed to hear that.
I was giggling so hard. He's going on like, okay, I really want to help now. I tried to find her message, but I fucking banished to the Shadow Realm somewhere along the way. I really want to help. I've learned my lesson. And then there's a cut, and then he's got the blanket pulled over him. He's tucking himself into bed. Why? It's so fake. It's so unbelievably fake.
And I really need to think twice before I hit record and just start yapping on this account. I genuinely treat this spam page like I'm on FaceTime with you guys. I love to laugh and tell you stories and rant and scream at the camera and joke around with y'all, but sometimes I genuinely forget how many people are watching, and it was completely inappropriate to make a joke out of somebody just trying to provide for themselves and their family. That's definitely my bad.
What joke did you make, man? It was just insulting them. It was just berating them for having the gall to try and reach out to you in any capacity during a hard time. Where was the haha? I don't know why he's saying it like that. Like, I just, I love to rant, I love to yap, I love to laugh, I love to joke, and, well, I just forgot that so many people like me and watch me, and this one came across bad. I shouldn't have been joking about this one. But you weren't joking, you were just insulting this person. What are you talking about? And it wouldn't have changed even if you had, like, a fraction of the people watching. You'd still be an asshole. Yeah, it'd still be fucking weird to have that response to it. So yeah, that's the James Charles stuff going on in a nutshell. I haven't heard that name in a long time, and it popped up today, and I had to watch that. What a wacky fucking rant. Anyway, that's really about it. See ya. Oh, it's the drug woman.
I never had a beard.
What? What are you talking about?
I've never had a beard.
Do you know Kale?
What?
You look just like
That's
somebody
my
I
twin
used to know.
brother.
What is going on here? I live with Kale. I used to live with him.
Did he hurt you?
You bitch! I've never once had a fucking beard in my life. You motherfucking slut.
Please don't blame him.
Also, fuck all of you bandwagoners. I've been watching Neil Breen since 2012 with Double Down. So suck my fucking dick. He was my underground genius. I don't know who blew him up on the internet. I think it was Red Letter Media, but whoever they did can suck the fattest, dirtiest part of my butthole. He was mine. I even sent him a Facebook message to audition to be in this movie. It's not Universal Pictures. It's much better than that. It's Neil Breen Films. Now, one thing many of you may not know about Neil Breen if you're a child or just not enlightened yet, haven't opened your third eye, he uses a lot of stock footage. Fucking dumbass kids can't even eat hot dog slices. It's embarrassing to think that I was once this age. Couldn't even use Reddit.
Going to the beach.
Entering Smash, Neil Breen joins the battle. Oh my god, it's Neil Breen and a Second Life avatar. Neil, watch out! There's a man. Oh, it's two Neil Breens. Just a smaller one.
The final human invention.
Neil
AI.
Breen. He looks confused.
I was approaching a robotic, humanoid state.
The human mind wasn't meant to work the way Neil Breen's does.
While developing
He's an
further and further in
evolutionary
a humanoid
anomaly.
state over the years, I never wanted to lose touch with the magic and majesty of nature.
Pet it, Neil.
And the gifts it had given me.
Kiss it. Make out with it. Fuck it. Make nature your bitch.
Good morning. Have a nice day.
Thanks, Neil. Will do, Neil. Just the motivation I needed this morning. Oh, God! Jesus, he truly has been augmented. Oh, is he the one that just killed the ISIS leader?
Follow me.
Neil,
You
get
can't
me out
hurt
of here.
You won't get hurt.
Neil, help!
Follow me.
Christ, terrorists win. Should have bought the diffuser.
I'll protect you.
Save them, Neil. The training exercise is going wrong. Neil, be careful. There's a good-looking woman behind you, but she could be an android.
Programmable virtual reality. The corrupt version.
Oculus Rift? Mark Zuckerberg?
A limitless digital universe, connecting all shared virtual reality.
Stop it, Neil. I don't want it.
Digital tribes.
No!
With all my abilities to defeat evil.
Hey, look, it's
I
the
still
Twisted
think of my
Pair
brother
premiere.
Cale
Look at all the
all
people
the
that showed up.
A crisis. Programmable virtual reality.
I hate it.
We have evidence of the largest cyber and terror attacks ever planned.
Programmable DNA.
That one's actually kind of good, though.
This is very serious.
I disagree.
Homeland Security is ready.
What are those?
We are on the verge of
Speakers?
mind hacking.
Programmable matter.
We will
Pretty good.
all be connected telepathically.
Special agencies are prepared.
Why are they shouting like this?
I have the power of instant
Guns!
personal facial
Bullets
recognition data.
and programmable
Content on
bullets.
Oh, Jesus. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. I apologize.
It's okay, I got it.
No. Here, let me get that for you.
Hey, shoot.
Wait, it's my
Darn
fault.
it.
It's
No,
my
no.
fault, really.
Give me my
I
papers.
apologize.
Just leave me alone.
Let me make
Leave
it
me
up
alone.
to you.
No.
I'll take
You're
you
a
out to
creep.
dinner.
Leave me alone. I have a boyfriend.
Let's have
Get
it.
out of my
Let's
face.
have a
Leave me
drink.
alone.
He's
Let's have a
superhuman,
drink.
lady. You're about to get
Leave me alone.
fucked.
I'll meet
Get
you
out of my
back here at
face.
8 o'clock
Get out of
and
my
we'll go out and have a drink.
Go.
That's how
I'll
flirting
meet
works,
you here at 8
boys.
o'clock. We'll go out for a drink.
Hey, homeless guy, you want a kiss?
She was very pretty.
Hey, Neil Breen's inside of a building. That just means he hasn't been kicked out yet.
Hey, that's the girl I met earlier.
No,
I'm
it's
gonna go follow her.
it's you, Breen. What do you mean? Where was she? Ma'am, you forgot to ask for my phone number. I'll invite myself in. We can skip that part and just have sex. Like James Bond does. Christ, Neil's in the house. Every woman's worst nightmare. Can you not smell Neil is on the prowl? Get out of there, quick!
You're mine now. I'll teach you to ignore me. You were supposed to meet me at 8.
Oh my god.
Bitch. You can't fight me.
Neil, no! You were my hero! Why are you raping her? Oh god! Not the Van Gogh!
What's for dinner?
Your favorite. Mom called today.
He raped her until she loved him!
So long.
Well, it just goes to show.
I miss my brother.
Don't get raped by Neil Breen or else you might fall in love. These sound like moans of pleasure, not pain. Needs to be more guttural. Ugh. Ugh. They're doing like fucking hentai stuff. Dude, Neil Breen's so insane. I bet that gun is loaded.
Injustices.
Oh, he shot him again. Oh, he shot him too.
hang
Jesus.
here.
So what's for dinner? How was your sex life? That just turned me on. You want a doggy style in the elevator? Called it. I have a sneaking suspicion that this hooded man is Cale. Breen's evil twin. I'm starting to think Neil Breen's becoming self-aware.
Injustice kidnapping?
Because he's got a piece of tape with some scribbles on it for a mustache. I think not even Neil Breen is deep enough into lunacy to think that that was going to be serious.
This entire restaurant. I hear the food is spectacular. The service is impeccable.
Whatever you say, Neil, I just want to go home.
It's just friggin' invisible.
What?
I bought you a present.
You did.
Neil, I really was hungry. Can we get food? It's not a candle, it's C4 and it fucking explodes. Kiss him. Kiss yourself. Make out with yourself. He looks like a cult leader with the
Or it
beard.
was taken from me.
What does it all mean, Neil? The metaphors are going over my head. Yep, that's glass. Yep, still glass. It's like he didn't believe it at first.
AI, the singularity. Its technology passes human intelligence. It thinks, dreams, and creates.
No, it doesn't. Why would AI sleep? That'd be so useless. Yeah, I made a robot, but it has to go to bed by 9 p.m. every night, and it won't wake up again until 10 a.m. the next day.
This is for both of us.
Gosh.
Kale, just let her drink and inject heroin. Buzzkill.
Take it.
Oh!
What the hell are you doing?
She fucking breaks the bottle over her
I don't
head.
even want you anymore. All I want is the drugs and the money.
Oh, yeah. Jesus, Neil. Oh, God, Neil.
Come back here.
You've lost your fucking mind.
Straighten up.
They got him now. Why did he return to the scene of the crime? Run, Kale. Oh my God, he's hacking the earth. He's changing climates.
I don't need to carry a weapon.
I am a weapon.
I am the weapon.
Ugh. Is that a woman or is it Neil Breen disguising himself as a wo- Oh, there she goes.
So you're interested in my special art?
He sounds like a UFO
and
documentary
investing
guy.
in my special projects.
Technology scares me. I hate this. I'm leaving. The 2 moons is symbolic for the 2 testicles in his sack. Keep that in mind next time he fucks that girl in the elevator. I bet that's real cocaine that Neil Breen's about to snort.
It's sworn intelligence.
What's happened to us?
Don't you still have 3 men in your basement? He's like a toy from Toy Story. He has to go totally still whenever the other Neil Breen is around. This is fucking awesome. Sir, this is a high school.
And you believe things you wouldn't ordinarily believe.
Neil Breen has no idea how to use a computer. Yep, that looks about right. Couldn't even figure out how to log on. So what was he doing in the tech lab? He was trying to recruit 4chan or something? What was that plot line that hasn't been wrapped up yet and never will? So why is he in this high school? If a man's planning to take over the world, he's probably not doing it at the local high school.
Cruz's biological mutant warfare plans must be stopped.
Right. That was always my least favorite class.
Programmable matter. It can transform itself into anything else.
Even a titty. Too powerful for one man to have. I agree.
I miss what I never knew.
Oh, it's so deep. What don't you know, Neil? They're playing Beat Saber. Neil's about to ruin this LAN party. Okay, goodbye, boys. Neil, be careful! The Blues Brothers are on the other side of that railing. Jesus, is he vanishing him with his mind? God, he's so strong! Do you agree to stop being corrupt, evil businessmen? Okay, you can go.
We're done.
I'm done with you.
We're done. We're done.
Ooh,
We're done.
oh.
I'm done with you.
Damn, he really meant it. It's gonna blow! Oh! And just like that, he's destroyed a sewage waste treatment facility. Neil, you pick up that can of SpaghettiOs right now! No! The world can't take you destroying more of these important facilities. Oh, God. He's destroying the society! So many pipes for Neil to destroy, but don't do it. Shit, he's sneaking on screen. He's creeping in. Show mercy this time. Oh god. He's going all out. This looks like Supergirl special effects. What do you mean that my poop facility is in flames? It must have been programmable Neil. Damn, Neil. Fucking American hero. It all comes full circle. You heard correctly, Hawk. I did save the world.
Hello, my friend.
I love you, baby. In the trailer for his movie Double Down, his cock and balls are in full display. In the trailer, it was a really bold move. So you never know what he's capable of.
Who's there?
Oh,
Who's there?
close.
I know somebody's there.
I thought he was getting up
Who
with a
are you?
full chub.
What do you want? Who's there?
He's already under the covers, crawling up Neil Breen's semi-chub. Ah, must have been the wind. Ah! Why? Why did you stab that block of wood in his pants? Oh, it's the drug woman.
I never had a beard.
What? What are you talking
I've
about?
never had a beard.
Do you know Kale?
What?
You look just like
That's
somebody
my
I
twin
used to know.
brother.
What is going on here? I live with Kale. I used to live with him.
Did he hurt you?
You bitch! I've never once had a fucking beard in my life. You motherfucking slut.
Please don't blame him.
I've never had a beard. Tell your friends.
Take this money.
Now his wife thinks he's paying for sex. Can you tell your prisoners to stop orgasming?
And your evil empire.
Whoa! But those henchmen, they get to live. They're minimum wage workers, and I didn't feel like killing them. Not the high school! No!
Sir.
No, spare the computers. No, God, Windows 7. That's a dangerous stunt, Neil. I gotta say, I'm impressed with that right there. I didn't expect that. Neil does all his own stunts, wouldn't you know? Now these kids will have nowhere to learn after summer vacation. And now I'm going to beat my wife. In my home theater. Watching one of my own movies. With the Tooth Fairy.
It's a lonely life.
No!
It's a lonely world.
Neil!
Kate.
Oh. Why did you let him turn around with a gun?
I knew you wouldn't join us.
Don't do it. Show mercy.
It's only business.
No.
Had to do it.
It wasn't business.
Only business?
It was pleasure.
I'm so sorry. You're breaking my heart.
You're tearing me apart, Lisa. She wanted me to join them, but I will not join them. I'm not one of them. I'm not one of them. I miss what I don't know. I guess we won't see. Oh, maybe we will. So it was the aliens the whole time, huh? I knew it. It's Neil Breen's true form. That's what happens when he takes off the mask.
Even as a humanoid, I can't give up my feelings for Alana. Regrettably.
The video said an hour and 28
There's
minutes, but this
much
shit's been
more
going for like
important
5.
things to do.
It's Neil's world! We're just artificially living in it. You see, Neil Breen is a special kind of talent. A literal once-in-a-millennia talent. God, I love his fucking work so much. Just got back from the cinema after watching Exit 8, a movie that I think a lot of people are sleeping on, but you really shouldn't because it is impressively good, especially for a video game adaptation. Exit 8 is based on a game of the same name, and really a game that kind of popularized the anomaly hunting genre of horror games, which is a genre that I've really started to fall in love with. Every time I play an anomaly hunting game for the gaming channel, I get fucking hearts in my eyes like an anime character. It's just a lot of fun, and Exit 8 was what really, propelled it into the, mainstream consciousness. Also, the gaming channel, Moist Critical Gaming, is by far the best gaming channel on YouTube. Just started my Sly Cooper marathon as well, so now's the perfect time to go subscribe over there. But I'm playing fucking hundreds of games a month for that. Anyway, Exit 8 is a very solid game. But I had no clue there would ever be the potential to make a good movie out of it, because it's very simple. You are trapped in an endlessly looping subway tunnel, and every time you try and go forward, you end up just going back to the very beginning. The only way to escape is by checking everything with a fine-tooth comb to see if there's anything that has changed, anything that's out of the ordinary about this corridor, and if there's any anomalies there that you detect, if something's out of whack, then you have to turn around and go the other way in order to progress, and you do this until you reach Exit 8. It's a very simple game premise that was really fun. It had a lot of cool, anomalies that they threw at you. But there was not a big, in-depth story that, would get players invested in the character you play. So I really just didn't think that there was any potential for a movie to spawn from it. And if there was, it'd just be like some boring-ass cash grab. That is not the case with Exit 8. This film fucking slaps. They did an incredible job. The whole first, 15, 20-ish minutes of the film is POV. It is first person of the character that we are following, and it actually feels straight out of the game. Except, they don't just toss you in there and start hunting anomalies. It gives you a character to care about. He is a very passive guy. He's on the subway. There's a lady with a baby that the baby is crying, and now she's getting berated by an angry rider, an angry passenger there. And he just tries to tune it out, go about his day, just trying to avoid confrontation to the best of his ability, and just fly under the radar. He then gets a call from his ex and learns that she is pregnant, and that's when kind of the core of the movie, the heartbeat of the movie, takes form about, is he going to step up to be a father? What will you decide? That's the big thing. What is the choice that he is going to make? And while on this phone call, he ends up getting trapped in this looping subway passageway, the subway tunnel. And then it becomes very familiar because they got this one-to-one with the game. It is exactly the same as the game, which was very fucking cool. But even if you haven't played the game, it's very interesting. So he starts to piece together that something's wrong because he's just doing these fucking loops. There's some weird wacko that just keeps walking at him that won't interact. He looks like a robot, just some kind of NPC that's glitching out. He just keeps walking, and then sometimes it goes kind of tits up. This guy will turn around and follow him while smiling. It's odd. And then he starts to panic, but then he notices the information on the wall tells him how to get out of here, the same way the tutorial in the game does. So then he go gadgets, goes full fucking inspector mode there on the tunnel, and tries to deduce whether or not it's anomaly ridden or clear. And it's always tough because sometimes there's some very obvious blatant ones like fucking big old tsunami that blasts through, and sometimes it's very subtle ones like one of the poster's eyes moved, that kind of thing. I think they did a great job of staying true to the game there and making it tense on the big screen. I thought they really played around with the concept very well. But what really elevates this from just a gimmick movie into just a very solid movie on its own two legs is that this is a character that you actually root for. It's a character that grows steadily in this environment. So he starts as a very passive guy and just trying to avoid things and kind of duck his head. He doesn't think he's ready to be a father. Now I want to avoid big spoilers for this because I think it's detrimental if I just divulge a ton of things about the movie here, and I really think this is a movie worth watching, so I'm only going to touch on tiny spoilers here to continue to glaze it, and also address one of the main complaints people have about this film that I kind of disagree with. But anyway, that's your little spoiler warning. Since he starts as this passive character, it seems like he's always leaning towards just ducking out and just avoiding anything that might be too hard for him. But now that he's in this endless looping tunnel, he has to really start evolving. He needs to start growing here. And I think they really play around with that well. And it's not just him. They introduced 2 other characters as well, such as the Walking Man, who was a really interesting character. It wasn't like just some flat throwaway character. They fleshed him out in a really fascinating way. And then there's also a boy that gets introduced here. And that is when the whole thing changes. So, once he figures out the rules here and how to escape, he starts, learning, the second I see an anomaly, turn around and go the other way because it might be dangerous if I don't. So when he's doing one of his investigations, he instantly sees a child there. Just this boy that's standing in the middle. So he's like, yep, obviously that's a fucking anomaly. So he turns around, goes the other way and expecting it to progress, but it actually resets his progress to 0. And he realizes, oh, that wasn't an anomaly. That's actually just a child that's also trapped in this as well. And then the 2 of them work together to try and get out. But it's obviously not that simple. And now he has to kind of be like a father to this child here and protect him. He takes on a more protective role when, before he arrived at this endless subway tunnel, he might have just did exactly what he did on the subway itself and just tune it out, ignore it, and go about his business by himself because it would have been easier. But he steps up here as he continues to grow. I think it's a gradual, well-done development of this character through a really interesting way, and it's also shot in a very interesting way. It's not like the craziest cinematography ever, but it's really well done, and it makes you care, and it keeps the shots interesting, which also elevates like the anomaly scares and frights and spooky stuff, that kind of thing when the anomalies happen. And that brings me to what it seems like a handful of people are really complaining about with the movie, and that's the fact that he doesn't always just immediately turn around and leave the second that he notices there's an anomaly. He, and by extension the child, investigate the anomalies, which that people are chalking up to being bad decision making. In the game, for instance, in Exit 8 the game, the second you see an anomaly, you basically sprint back the other way in order to progress the game. In the movie, he tried that with the child, and it turns out that wasn't an anomaly. So I actually think they do a good job of showing why he investigates the anomalies more so after that, because he had already tried just instantly turning around when he thought he saw an anomaly, only to realize, nope, that was normal. So I feel like that makes sense there, but also there's a bigger messaging with it. And this is where it's going to be spoilery. There's no way to avoid this. This is a bigger spoiler. But him investigating the anomalies is what helps him grow as a character. Like, for instance, the most important moment in the film was the anomaly where the door opens, which the second the door opened, they could have turned around and left and it would have been correct because obviously something's out of whack, it's an anomaly, and you have to go the other way to progress. But they opened the door fully to see what's on the other side, which everyone's like, why would you do that? That's fucking stupid. These are dumb characters making dumb decisions. And yes, it is a dangerous decision. They could have just opened that up into like a fucking wood chipper or something, or just fell into an endless void like the Oblivion, just this giant shithole. Very possible. But the messaging there, when they open it, what he sees is himself on that subway ignoring the woman and the baby that are in distress because of this asshole that's now like attacking them. And he is overcome with regret. And it's such an emotional beat that only happens because he investigated. So the anomalies are what lets this character grow. So yeah, the optimal play would be just immediately turn around and leave, but if he did that, he would have ended as the exact same character that we saw him begin with. There's no growth there. So I really think that it was well executed there. Yes, you can nitpick it saying like, it's stupid, that's suboptimal, but without it, he doesn't change. And his change and everything he learns about himself and his journey throughout his time in the Exit 8 endless tunnel there, the fucking treadmill there, that is what the movie is about. Him and his experience there and how it changes him and helps him develop. And I thought they did a great job with it. They took a very simple horror game concept of basically, you know, that old game you'd play in the picture books where what's different with this picture and this picture? Circle it. You win, that kind of thing. They took that and used it as a character development tool and set up a really interesting world with it. I was really impressed with how they used it in Exit 8. I thought they did a great job with this movie. I don't really have any complaints other than sometimes it drags. They do let some shots sit for too long that don't really add suspense or tension. It just kind of makes it feel like, all right, come on, we get it. Let's kind of move on to the next thing. Like, there definitely were moments that I thought dragged, but nothing like egregious. I really enjoyed this movie a lot more than I thought would ever be even possible with a game like this. So yeah, I thought this slapped. This is definitely a very solid video game adaptation. They took the game and added a story to it and really did it justice. You could even make an argument that they elevated it as well. I'm very, very impressed with what they've done here. So I wanted to yap about this and give you a little review on it, I suppose. That's really about it. Oh, another thing I want to mention. The music in this. They did a great job with the music here, which I didn't expect at all. It's a movie that's really quiet for the most part as he's facing these anomalies, which, again, the message that that is being delivered is about how he's not just like facing these random anomalies. These have meaning. He's facing parts of himself and needs to overcome and grow in order to, you know, make it out of the endless, you know, subway station here. But most of the movie is quiet and a lot of just environmental noise and background noise. But when there's music here, the music goes ballistic. They kind of went hard on the score here. I wanted to make a special mention of that. But anyway, yeah, like I said, it's a very good movie. I recommend it. That's really about it. So yeah. There's plenty of sad, pathetic losers on the internet, but above them all stands one YouTuber named Onision. I have more respect for adults that film themselves shitting in diapers than I do for Onision. For those of you fortunate enough to have never heard of this guy, and I imagine that's most of you watching because almost no one remembers this guy, he's a fucking fossil on the internet that's only remembered as the butt of every fucking joke online now. But he used to be a pretty big YouTuber, a really shitty one. He had 3 shitty channels, one where he talked about shit horribly with these pseudo-intellectual hot takes, one where he made the worst skits ever created on the internet, and then one where he made the worst skits ever created and also talked about shit poorly. He's fallen into obscurity these days because over the course of his career he fell into many controversies such as reports of being abusive in his relationships, manipulation. He also used to have this series where teenage girls would send pictures of their body to him so he could rate them on it. It's all weird, fucked up shit. And for the last 2 or 3 years, all 3 of his channels combined for like 100,000 views a month, so he was pretty much dead on the internet. But this week he came up with a new strategy for gaining attention, which was posting weird, cringy 50 Shades of Grey fanfic shit on his Twitter, saying things like, I can't wait for you to fuck me, I want to wake up in the morning with your pussy around my asshole, things like that. And it was too hard for people to not make fun of him, because this man's just a human punching bag. Calling this guy a human is giving him a very generous title, because he's not. This dude's like a fucking pinworm. He just lives in your asshole and makes you itch, and to scratch that itch you have to make fun of him. He's pathetic. Imagine your life revolving around having to get made fun of just so you can make a paycheck. I really don't know how this cockroach can be happy with his legacy. His whole existence revolves around going online and making people hate him and laugh at him. Hemorrhoids have more support than Onision. Urinary tract infections have more fans than Onision. People like broken bones more than they like Onision. His real name is Greg. Greg, how can you be happy with this? If you ever have a child, don't you think that child's gonna be so fucking, just embarrassed of you? Oh yeah, what's your dad do for a living? Oh, he goes online just to get fucking laughed at. Oh great, that's awesome. Okay, cool. Bring him in for show and tell so we can laugh at him. It's fucking pathetic, and I didn't want to talk about this guy because he thrives off this kind of attention. Whenever someone mentions him, no matter how negative, it's always the only thing that even boosts his dead channels by even a slightest amount. But I figured since he's all over the internet right now, it was worth talking about because he actually is getting investigated for child grooming, which sounds about right given Onision's past and all of the alleged things against him. And also just taking one look at his content, it looks like the kind of shit someone that grooms children would make. But anyway, let me just show you a clip from some of his content so you get an idea for the kind of person he is and the kind of shit that he thinks is entertaining, even though it's some of the worst jokes of all time. Keep in mind, this came out this year, March March 11th of 2019.
Done again in tonight's top story. A special ed school got shot up by a former U.S. Marine? Yes, according to our reports, 100% of the special ed students went ahead and died because instead of running away from the muzzle flash, they ran towards it. Apparently, for some reason, they mixed up the gunshot sounds with a popular rap song, and a lot of them kept screaming, "That's my bop!" One of the former U.S. Marine that shot up the school, coincidentally, was also the surviving teacher, who got a high five for making the world a better place.
Some real side-splitting comedy, Onision, real gut-busting stuff. Sticking your fucking head in between two dump trucks colliding would be less painful than sitting through an Onision video. This guy has absolutely no talent whatsoever. I did promise I'd never make a video on Onision because for the last 3 years his entire channel and online presence across all 3 of his channels has been so incredibly dead that even mentioning it in like a fucking passing fart would be enough to kind of help it. So I didn't want to even take the chance because this is the only thing he does. He thrives off the attention, even if it's the worst negative shit in the world. It's the only thing that matters to him, and it does work because his channels have gone from 100,000 views a month across all 3 to now up to 3 million views a month on just a single one. All because of his Twitter antics and being investigated for child grooming. It's all he cares about. This is the kind of person he is. I mean, just take a look at this channel. Look at those views compared to the one he just posted today on his Twitter, which is about all of the drama and shit. It's the same for all of them. His channels have had a huge boost in views, which is extremely sad, and people are talking about his meltdown video, which is obviously just him thinking he's untouchable and trying to capitalize off the drama. But he did actually lose his Patreon, which is great news, so that means he's now lost $10 a month that he was making over there. But yeah, anyway, just want to make this quick video talking about this fucking loser. Hopefully all this attention doesn't revitalize his online career. And yeah, that's it. So yeah. Well, we learned how to handle strangers, but how do we handle God? What if God meets us in the alleyway next to the old van? You failed to watch when they got to bad touch territory? You telling me Winnie the Pooh's Too Smart for Strangers gets into molestation? I don't know, it seems like an iffy topic to be covering, especially on Twitch. But as a PSA, don't get molested.
Work until they drop.
Scribes?
Pharaoh Hitler? Yeah, Pharaoh Hitler. This is who Yugi was fighting in the Yu-Gi-Oh show. Oh, good lord.
But now the Spirit of God moved in the land.
Man, the Bible is hardcore. What the fuck? It's been a while since I've read the manga, but goddamn, the Bible is nuts. Yeah, and then they put the baby in the basket, push it down river, and then he gets picked up by a pharaoh or something. Maybe. I don't know. I don't remember the Rugrats episode. Dick's Commandments? Well, they need a better name for that. Yeah, here's the 10 Dick Commandments, losers. Stupid name. It's a dumb name. Fucking Penis Commandments. Oh, there it is. That's that Krav Maga. I've seen these in the women's self-defense courses. Start hitting them with the purse.
That's enough of that.
Damn, Moses is a super Chad. What is he, like 6'5"?
Business. I beat you. You're no royal grandson.
You're fucked now. Look at this action. It's not really Killer Bean levels of choreography, but goddammit, they're trying.
But I can explain it to him. He's my grandfather.
Yeah, just check the security camera footage.
I know you.
Do you not remember the river, the basket, the blanket your own mother gave you?
Why did he wait this long to tell him?
It all happened.
I wanted to wait until you murdered a man before I told you the truth.
Miriam?
You finally come of age, my son.
What about you? Miriam, my family.
These muscles are crazy.
We always have.
I want my arms to look like that. Fucking water balloon on top of a water balloon. Oh, nice! Quick, get out of there. Fire that bitch into overdrive. There we go, pump that ass. The Great Escape.
May God be with you, my brother.
He's getting away. He's on one of those Tesla donkey models. Shit.
I'm a dead man to Pharaoh, and my donkey has a bad temper. So why don't you leave now? Let the women tend to their sheep. The two of us.
So now he just becomes a vigilante. You become Nightwing. Yahoo! Oh, yahoo! Yahoo! Oh, ew, bald, ew, ooh. Show them the power of the word of God. I don't know. Good God. This isn't even accurate. If you actually paid attention to religion and watched Beyblade, you would know Moses used a Beyblade to let it rip and parted the sea.
Don't forget the wax.
Those manatees are fake. They're CGI'd. Moses is pulling like a Chris Angel mind freak scam.
They'll kill us all thanks to you.
What do you mean? He's just gonna collapse the lake. Obviously.
Game of Thrones pre-sequel is getting made.
Fuck yeah, I hope it's written by 4-year-olds this time. At least it'd be better than Season 8. Oh wait, is this where he has to sacrifice his son, but then it turns out that God was just playing an epic YouTube prank on him? You guys remember that in the Bible?
Joshua,
Might have been Abraham, I don't remember, but it was like, kill your son for me, it'll make me laugh. And he's like, why, God? Well, because I want to laugh. Slit his throat and put him on the altar. It's like, God, I don't want to. He's like, you do it or the world dies. He's like, alright, God, I'll kill my son. And then as he's gonna kill his son, he's like, no, don't do it. Just wanted to see if you would. Lol. I'm pretty sure that was Abraham. This guy sucks. Fucking fat chef pedophile man. Doubting the 10 Commandments. Oh, also, spoiler alert. God doesn't forgive this guy for this.
Here is your God, children of Israel.
That's a shitty god. Let's worship a cow with a magnifying glass. Looks like one of the Arrancar from Bleach firing a Sero. Oh yeah, anyone remember the Tower of Babylon? Where God just wanted people to spread out a little bit more because he put a lot of work into the world, so he made this tower that scrambled their languages for no reason. Instead of just asking them to separate, he just scrambled their languages so they couldn't understand each other. God's quite the prankster, actually, like the original YouTuber. Here comes the genocide. The Lord hates golden cows.
What are you afraid of?
It's the judgment of the Lord.
Wasn't there one Jesus Christ. Oh! Well, you just broke the commandments. That's your fault, Moses. Oh no. Dear Jesus. Moses has gone mad. Save them, golden cow.
Lord, forgive them.
What?
They're sorry.
You just condemned them to hell. That wasn't
Stay
him.
angry.
You broke the commandments.
If you want to punish anyone,
You earthbended, not him.
punish me first.
Oh, nice. Blueprints. For the first RGB keyboard for gamers. What do they even eat out here in the desert?
All Moses does is talk with
What,
God.
fucking, they sustain themselves off faith? Is that their nutrients? That's an empty bowl. You're not fooling me, lady. It rains bread.
How long will these people disobey me?
Oh.
How long will they turn their backs on all I have done for them?
See, that's kind of a douchey attitude.
Perhaps I should just abandon them.
Lord, everyone in the land knows how powerful.
I was a star quarterback in high school, Moses.
They will all wander the wilderness until the last of their generation is gone.
That's so
Their
fucked.
children and their children's children will make the final journey without them.
Thank you. All because they didn't kiss your fucking high school ring. See, it was things like that during, like, the church ceremonies where I was like, well, it's a little douchey. You'd think, like, God, the infallible, would be, like, a little more understanding.
perish.
And also not like an angsty Redditor, like, why aren't they worshipping me? Didn't they see my comment karma?
This because soon our people will see the promised land.
They won't.
That is a great thing.
No, that's a shame that he doesn't know. God already forsake them. Told them they couldn't see it. He denied them entry to the club.
One time, I failed him.
What?
So, justly, I was punished.
When did... Oh, he failed him when he hit the rock, right? That was Moses' one sin because he hit a rock.
That is to be my reward, Joshua.
That's such cutthroat. Like, those rules are strict as shit. So where is Moses going? Just looking for a nice rock to die on or something? It's kind of fucked up. God's not even letting him go to the promised land. He's right there. He could literally pee onto it. He could drop trow and take a piss and hit the promised land from here.
This is your place.
It's fucked up. All because he hit a rock with a stick? Boo! Bible's too mean. The fuck? Well, the boys' finale aired, and it's pretty much exactly what I was anticipating. Really underwhelming. The whole final season was unfortunately disappointing. Just a really weak finale, especially for all of the build-up that we've had for years now, and then, like, this season was billed as, you know, Homelander's snapping, it's about to be nuts to butts, there might even be fucking boobies blowing up all over the place, everyone's fucked, that kind of thing. And yet this whole final season felt like the smallest version of The Boys so far. They took something that was, like, really big in scale and, like, dialed it into something much tinier and teenier. It's just, I don't get it. So, like, I won't regurgitate all the points I was making for the first 6 episodes. Instead, I'm just going to focus mainly on the ending, but a little bit of some of the stuff I hated as well with episode 7 getting into it. So let's just dive into the spaghetti and the meatballs. Where do I even begin? I think one of the biggest flops here was like the introduction of V1. I don't think it actually did anything. I think it is solely there to set up Vought Rising. When Homelander does get V1, nothing changes. In fact, it feels like it even depowers him. So V1, that's how the Soldier Boy and that original troop are able to survive the virus that was supposed to be like the, you know, basically kill switch for Soups. It doesn't work on Soldier Boy because of the V1, so then that becomes Homelander's new goal for most of the season to get the V1. Then he gets it, and then he wants to make an amusement park. So now we have an immortal Homelander who should be like in prime killing capacity. He's already snapped, views himself as God, and then does nothing. Actually nothing. And in the final fight, he feels significantly weaker than any other time we've ever seen him. So the experimentation on Kimiko to get her to have the Soldier Boy blast, which basically turns Soups into normal average Joe Schmoes, he knows this, and while fighting for his life, it's like he's been nerfed. It's like he's playing on like a, you know, EU servers or something with lag. He is slow. He is not powerful. His laser eyes, which we have seen him actually cut Kimiko in half with, don't do anything to her. Like, he's not able to even like cut her in half anymore. Even though he uses his laser eyes directly on Kimiko, it doesn't like, you know, pierce her chest, cut her in half, damage her in any way. She just takes it and then gets up like she got hit with a water balloon. So why is he so much weaker now when he has V1 as well? This should be like a, you know, Armageddon type situation, but they're treating him like a joke. And I don't mind like the final team up of Butcher plus Ryan against Homelander. I think that's very satisfying. And Kimiko being the one to have that blast, I think makes sense. I wasn't like, you know, that came out of nowhere and feels shitty. I was like, okay, I could see that. It makes sense, especially with, you know, Frenchie dying beforehand. I think that ties it together and works. But what doesn't work is how weak Homelander is. It feels really lame, especially when you consider a couple scenes before their final showdown, he took a guy to space like that. It was like an instant transmission from Dragon Ball Z. He had a guy, he didn't really fuck with him, so he grabbed him, he shot up into the sky, and then came right back down, and when asked what happened, he said, oh, he's an astronaut, so I took him to space. Why couldn't he fly like that when his life depended on it? Why in the final fight, in the couple of times he tried to fly away, was it like me on a tricycle trying to get away? I don't get it. So truly, I just don't think the V1 did anything meaningful to the plot of The Boys. Like, it gets introduced at the final season here, completely changes the trajectory of everything that had been building, because now we have another new side quest, another new doodad we're gonna have to look into and stop from getting into the bad guy's hands. And even when it does, who cares? like actually, who gives a fuck? It didn't matter. I think they spent so much time on that to get Vought Rising, off the ground a little bit, put some poop in that butt, that they kind of abandoned a lot of what they were building to previously. Like, example, one of the huge things was the flight recording where Homelander just lets the entire plane die in season 1. That was going to be like their big, weapon against him in the public eye. And we built on that for fucking years. And then that gets dropped early on in the season, only to just be written off as AI immediately, which I get, that's an easy way out. You can just say, oh, it's AI, it's fake, and people believe it. That's what they do in the show. But why do that for this? Why build for so many years just to have them finally get to that point where they release it, and then it's only like a fleeting mention of, oh yeah, that was a Starlight AI video. Didn't happen. So it just feels like, okay, that was a waste of time and doesn't really do anything in the grand scheme of things, huh? Same with Soldier Boy. He gets put back on ice. That was the big finale for Soldier Boy in the last episode. He gets choked out and put on ice again. For the third fucking time. All they do with that character is they thaw him out. He acts wacky and silly and tough for a little while. They can't really beat him. He talks about, you cum guzzling, jizz pirate, that kind of stuff. You, butt bubbling, motorboat nut swallowing, scallywag. And then they put him back on ice when they can't figure out what else to do with him. So he just goes back into stasis. Come on. That's not satisfying at all. It really feels like so much of this was built upon the idea that they had to find ways to keep it milkable because they have so many other Boys projects already in the works. So now we've waited all this time. This is supposed to be the big finale, and yet it feels like they're still just setting up things for other things outside of the Boys, which means the Boys itself gets kind of strung dry and feels bland and feels like it's missing so many important components for closure. And there's just so many things I didn't like about this, man. And even going back a couple episodes, Black Noir 2's death. I think the breakdown of their friendship was handled well. I think that was entertaining and done decently enough because they gave enough time to flesh out the Deep specifically, as well as his obsession with being in Homelander's good graces so he could suckle milk from Homelander's tit. And Black Noir 2 was kind of standing in his way, so they start to have the breakdown, and then he, steals some of Black Noir 2's credit. That further strains it, and then it eventually culminates with him killing his acting coach, and then Black Noir ends up killing a billion fish, which the Deep is rightfully blamed for because of the oil pipeline and stuff that he was talking about, which then causes him to be excommunicado from water itself. And because of that, he kills Black Noir too, but they don't have a real final fight or anything. He strangles him with a cord and then stabs him in the face, in the neck. Black Noir 2 can fly. He's bulletproof. How the fuck is he getting choked by a cord? I understand the Deep is also superhuman, so he's got strength. The cord would break. Why wouldn't you just have them actually fight? So that way it feels like, oh, this was a big deal. This was a, death befitting of a character you've spent this much time with, but instead it's just a fucking whimper. He gets strangled by a goddamn ox cord and then stabs him, and that's the end of it. And then he never gets mentioned again. Black Noir 2's name never comes up again. Not once. So again, it just feels really underwhelming. Speaking of, another character, Sister Sage. Holy shit, I have never seen a character that's supposed to be the smartest character in the world be used so stupidly. That character trait in other shows, like this is the smartest person ever, always leads to some really fascinating situations, and I think relies on good writing for it to work well. Here, that was just completely absent. Sister Sage at no point in this final season felt like the smartest character in the world. All she does is sit around, kind of do nothing. She then explains her goal of like, let everyone die so I can read in peace in my bunker. Like, okay, I guess. But she doesn't do anything to like actually get there using her intelligence at all. And then when she does like betray Homelander and go with the boys, she is the one that fucks everything because she, for some reason, decided to let Soldier Boy come through during the V1 transfer, and she didn't expect Soldier Boy to give Homelander the V1. Human emotion makes no sense. Love. I can't calculate it. I don't get love, which is a cliche I've seen explored and you've seen explored in other smart characters. Love, the X factor, the chemical X, no one can quite figure out the composition of it. Doesn't make any sense. It goes against logic. But it's like, why even bring Soldier Boy there in the first place? That did nothing to help with the goal of getting the V1. It just puts it in more jeopardy. So he shows up and then just does give Homelander the V1, and then she's fucking shell-shocked, and then spends the next episode just moping and watching Love Island and lobotomizing herself. And then when she does, like, dust it off after a motivational speech from Frenchie, she, like, helps one time with the experiment on Kimiko, which does actually have a big impact. But then that's it. In the final episode, she gets hit by the Kimiko, chest blast, the big beam, loses her powers, and becomes average, saying, I'm stupid like all of you, and then fucks off to Disney World, or, what was it, Universal Studios, I don't remember. She went to Orlando. So, she never did anything like the smartest character in the world was only the one capable of doing. She just does, like, basically nothing except check Frenchie's work and, like, change a couple numbers around to make it actually work better. It's just so weird because you would expect the smartest character in the world to have all these plans and account for everything imaginable, and like you're always playing into their palms because they know what's coming because they're that smart. But Sister Sage, the smartest person on the planet, she does nothing but eat Taco Bell, lobotomize herself, and doesn't actually do anything with her intelligence like ever. And then just goes to Orlando and that's it. It's just such a fucking wild usage of that kind of superpower, or really not even usage of it. It's, again, just underwhelming. That's just the word to describe everything with this whole final season. Everything about it was just so underwhelming. And even in this final season, they still found ways to focus on shit that no one cares about. Like, why do we have it was like a 2-minute scene of two, like, throwaway villains sniffing each other's assholes, telling each other what they had for lunch. That's in the second to last episode, and we're spending time with that kind of shit? Like, it's so little worked about this finale, unfortunately. Like, Starlight vs. the Deep. This is something that I think had been building the entire series. And the Deep, you always had this sense like, oh, maybe he'll turn on Homelander. He's constantly belittled, but it never quite sets in, and I think that works really well for his character. So then it's a final showdown between Starlight and the Deep. All the terrible shit the Deep has done. There is no redemption to be found whatsoever. And their final fight, Starlight takes him to the beach. Why the fuck would she do that? That is where, presumably, he would be the most powerful. She has no idea that the ocean now rejects him. She is not aware of that at all. Why would she choose to take the Deep to the fucking sea to fight him? That makes no sense. That's the dumbest shit imaginable. What? Why? Of course it works out because the sea does reject him, which, again, Starlight doesn't know. So she does win, like, the hand-to-hand fight, and it's an okay fight, I guess. I would have liked to see it be, like, a little more, like, emotionally weighted. Like, it still felt fast. Everything felt rushed here because it's the final episode, and this whole season was written as if they had like 15 episodes to go. But it does ultimately end with him getting blasted into the sea, and it has kind of a callback to how he killed Black Noir's acting coach, the director. He gets ass murdered by a sea creature, a tentacle popping up from his butthole out of his mouth, and he dies there in the sea that now hates him because he betrayed them. Starlight had no idea that was the case. Why did she take him there? That's just ridiculous. Like, that is just dumb. There's a lot more I could yap about, but I've already been going for a little while, so let's just instead focus on some of the biggest things that make this so weak. And I've already touched on one of them, but the scale of it. This was billed as the Scorched Earth final season, and I think they did a great job building up to a Homelander just snapping and going fucking insano style on the entire planet. And that's what everyone, myself included, was expecting to happen with this season. But none of that ever gets there. At no point does he go Scorched Earth. And in fact, in this, like, genocide mode Homelander, he kills less people than he ever has in previous seasons and is far less threatening than he has ever been. I don't mind that they have him be like a sniveling, temper tantrum throwing loser that everyone makes fun of and constantly calls pathetic. I think that fits really well with what they've built for this character. But the whole thing is he has snapped. He is unhinged. He is a loose cannon. But he never actually does anything Scorched Earth. There is no big, like, holy shit moment or anything like that. It actually feels like a neutered Homelander. Especially in their big final fight, which I've already blabbered about. But one other thing I want to mention is, you remember how he kills Frenchie? He basically teleports across the building right in front of Frenchie. Why couldn't he do that in the White House? Why couldn't he just start doing that speed blitzing out of there? Or just speed blitz insta-kill Kimiko, just fucking, one tap there. Like, it doesn't make sense. He had already lasered her in half earlier, and now his lasers are so weak, and now all of a sudden he's so slow, he can't fly away, he can't do anything we've seen him do before in the final fight. So the final fight doesn't even feel like a big moment either. It feels anticlimactic. It feels like it was like an inconvenience. The fights with Homelander and, like, with Soldier Boy were better. Like, I don't want to go back into, like, the nitty-gritty because I've already been blabbering so much, but there's just so little about this finale, and really the whole final season worked. It's just such a letdown. Anyway, though, like I said, this season does not follow through on where they were building Homelander to this global threat. He keeps, like giving lip service about it, like if you're a non-believer, get ready to face oblivion and that kind of stuff, but it never happens. It gets cut short, and even leading up to that, it doesn't happen. So you just have a final season that feels like it's the actual smallest season yet. Anyway, I do want to give a couple of mentions for things I did like in the finale. I'd already mentioned a couple of things I liked throughout the season, which again were pretty sparse, but in the finale, I did think they did a few things pretty well. Notably, Butcher. I do think they did a good job with Butcher. Aside from the final fight where he's using less tentacles on Homelander than he did on fucking Newman, he's now much more content to not really be using his powers all that much for some reason. I don't know why he doesn't really go all out with it, but whatever. I do think when Homelander gets depowered, is no longer a soup, Butcher does a wonderful job of being that boogeyman. Just early, like moments earlier, we heard Homelander say, "Do you think I'm afraid of William Butcher?" And then we see him just crying, begging Butcher not to kill him as he menacingly walks towards him, just unflinching, just diabolical. And Homelander is crying. He's saying, "I'll suck your dick. I'll eat shit on live TV, whatever you want. No, don't do it." That kind of thing, which I think is the perfect ending to Homelander. Exactly what that character deserves. Exactly where I was hoping it would go. And then Butcher does the crowbar into his skull, pops his head open, killing him. And on live TV, and everyone sees Homelander go out in a sad, pathetic, despicable whimper. And I think that was a really good ending to Homelander versus Butcher. It's just a shame that how we got there was as weak as it was, because I do think they stuck the landing on the actual killing of Homelander. I think that is exactly what it needed to be. And I think what happens next with Butcher is exactly what needed to happen. He doesn't just instantly get forgiven by Ryan You know, he doesn't just all of a sudden flip this switch and now he's like the nicest guy ever. He's out mowing his lawn, waving to his neighbors and stuff like that. He doesn't get that happily ever after because William Butcher as a character is not someone who even thinks he deserves it. So I think them committing to that was the right call, where he takes the virus and he is going to finish what he started and what he always wanted to do of killing all of the Supes with this virus. So he goes, he gets everything set up, he's got his finger on the trigger ready to do it, and he is confronted by Huey. And I think this standoff between Huey and Butcher is exactly where things needed to go, exactly where things had been building with a final confrontation between these two. Huey, after everything he's been through, has not lost himself. He tiptoed on that, line a little bit, but always came back to being the Huey that we had always known from the very beginning. He stayed true, which is something Butcher also makes a mention of. So Huey and Butcher, they clash, and Butcher is obviously fucking clobbering him. He is walloping Huey, and it looks like Butcher is going to follow through on killing all the Supes right in front of Huey, even though Huey's like, this is your moment, I know you still have a heart, I don't need to be your canary, I don't need to be your Lenny, but it's not working. Looks like Butcher's going to go through with it until eventually he sees Lenny and he starts to take his finger off the trigger. Huey shoots him. And Huey felt he had no choice because Butcher, it looked like he was going to do it. It looked like he wasn't going to stop. And I believe Butcher wanted this to happen. I think that's pretty clear that Butcher was hoping that Huey would be the one to finally put a stop to him as well. Like in everything that he's suffered and everything that he's done, he can't help himself. He said he wasn't going to stop, even though it looks like he was going to, but he still seems like it wanted to put Huey in this position where he had no choice but to kill him. Because I think that's what Butcher wanted as well. His way of trying to atone for the past through Huey, his view of him as Lenny and all that. I think that was a fitting conclusion for Butcher as a character as well as Huey and Butcher's relationship. I think they did that well. I'm sure people will have their issues with it, but for me, I thought that was something they actually did well there. It was everything around it that didn't quite work, especially in this season where Huey and Butcher's relationship isn't really something that's thoroughly explored or really examined all that much, aside from like a couple of mentions here and there about like, oh, Butcher, maybe you do have a heart because you just pet terror. That's great. Awesome. Love to see that. It's something that they threw into the fucking back rooms and forgot about, but it's something that had been integral throughout the series. So I think that is a fitting conclusion there. I just wish the rest of the season also built up to it better, especially in the finale. But those are two things that I do think were done well, with Butcher and with Huey and Butcher at the very end. Outside of that, just there's not much. There really isn't. O-Father was fine. I actually think O-Father was a really interesting character, but then he just goes out like Black Bolt from fucking Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. It felt extremely quick for a character that had become such a big deal, but, they were running out of time. They forgot that it was the final episode, so now they gotta rapid fire all of this shit. Ashley then, grows a conscience and decides to come around to help the boys, which gets them in the position to fight Homelander, which, they kind of sprinkled that seed of doubt, like maybe she'll turn, maybe she won't, even though in every other opportunity she doesn't, and then here all of a sudden she does make that decision, even though this is the one time when she turns that actually directly put her life in danger immediately because she goes into gunfire into an ambush to save them. Feels like if she was ever going to turn, it'd be on one of the safer ones. But here she does make the plunge and it saves the day. Everything just happens so fast. It feels very rushed, which I expected. I think most people expected because this whole season had really dragged its feet and never really felt like we were reaching the end game. It never gets to where we were led to believe it would with Homelander going scorched earth or anything. It's just not a good finale, and it was not a good final season, unfortunately. So yeah, anyway, just wanted to yap about it, give my thoughts on it. That's really about it. So yeah, I saw the comments on the video earlier today. You guys were so nice to me about my hairline. Oh my goodness, I was blushing. making a 31-year-old man feel like a boy again. So to celebrate, we cracked open a $35,000 box of Magic the Gathering cards. Whoopee! Charlie flushing big bucks down the shitter again for the sake of banger content. And perhaps a bit of mental illness. Little column A, little column B. But you're not my dad, you're not my therapist, so I'm gonna keep doing it. This is something you don't see very often for obvious reasons. A, the boxes don't exist in large capacity anymore. They're extremely rare. And B, they're absurdly expensive. It is a Magic the Gathering box called Legends, which is legitimately a piece of Magic the Gathering history, which is my favorite card game. Have an entire channel dedicated to Magic, and this is part of our series Box Brawl, where we open every set of Magic and then build decks out of our pulls. We each get 9 packs each and make decks and have a brawl with them. So, this is our most expensive Box Brawl to date. The whole thing is up on the Skill Check channel. Hold the opening, that's here on this channel. So if you want to see these cards in action, you can go there. I don't sell the cards or anything like that, but if you were to tally up the total from our pulls, it doesn't even begin to scratch the surface of what was lost financially when purchasing this box and opening it. The second you pull the plastic off, your money just... And that's part of the fun, baby. That's part of the thrill with Box Brawl. So I'll show you the opening here. And like I said, this is like a very important set in Magic history. This came out in 1994. That's the same year I popped into this world through the old birth canal. Now, when we were opening it, I didn't remember how expensive this box was because it'd been like over a year since I had purchased it. So at the time, I thought it was $15,000. But I don't know, due to inflation or maybe, I don't know exactly what prices are looking like in vintage Magic these days, but whatever the case, it is $35,000 right now on the low end. I've seen it go up to $50K, so it's somewhere in that general ballpark. And we ripped this puppy open with reckless abandon, caution to the wind, and built some fucking outrageous decks out of the pulls. So go check out the skill check video if you want to see them in action. There's a link in the description. Hopefully you enjoy the opening here, though. I'm pretty pumped. So this is a Legends box. This was 1994. June. This introduced legendary creatures to the game.
And multicolored spells.
Yep. This is
without this, realistically, Box Brawls
never exists.
Yeah, we're not born without this.
Yeah, that's true. We would cease to be.
Yep. So this is a pretty big one. The hits in this one are chunky.
Yeah.
So there's a Tabernacle.
Yes.
It's a few thousand ungraded.
We're in the 4 digits?
We're in the 4 digits again.
Yeah.
Matt,
this is a big...
Matt is out of bed.
And I think that like the number of these boxes that are just existent or that people know about is like...
very low.
Pretty low.
Look at how...
I know, look at the...
Oh my
God. It's such thick plastic. It's not like the saran wrap that they use.
This was before we knew plastic was bad for the environment.
Yeah.
Crazy. So we do have a crooked pack, but I think it's because it went from here to here.
They weren't as good back then.
Yeah.
So yeah, this came out in June 1994. I came out in May 1994.
Whoa! I came out in August 1994.
Congratulations,
I just barely beat this box out into the world.
I was already at Friday Night Magics when this box was on. Not really.
Yeah, no.
Alright, so we're going pack.
Yeah, I think so.
We'll do it that way. Let's see what we get. I think
mine are a little twisted, but that's fine.
There's no foiling in this. This predates that practice.
Okay.
So I think our odds of getting like a big hits are pretty high. So
and we're looking for Tabernacle.
Tabernacle, Chains of Mephistopheles, Moat, The Abyss.
Oh no!
A lot of white and black
Urborg.
spells.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. A legendary land.
Wow.
You don't see a lot of those.
Is this a how to play?
Look at the first rules clarification. It's 2 paragraphs about bands with other.
Bands.
Do you think anybody's ever played Commander with a Legends box?
I don't think so. I was going to say, I don't know how many boxes of these have even been opened on camera. I bet you there are probably more alpha box openings than there are for Legends boxes.
Do you want to know why? Because this is a 3-mana 2 6 with no other text.
Yeah.
You know what that means?
A good game.
Yeah.
Zach actually passed out for how much.
He passed away.
So they don't have any like indicators what's common, uncommon, or rare?
Not at all.
I think the Pit Scorpion was our rare.
So looking at my pack on accident, the first card under this one was the rare.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, wait, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So then the Tucknear Deathlock, the Summon Legend, is the rare.
So
Wait, that's actually really good.
It's really not bad. It's a 2/2 4-mana flyer, and I can pay 2, and that's the old tap
That's the
symbol.
old tap symbol, yeah.
Target creature gains +2/+2 until
He's got a flyer.
Yeah, that's good.
My first card, Palladium Moors, the Naya Elder Dragon Legend.
That's
Holy
sick.
shit.
Wait, that's probably a big one. Right?
It's a
Never
flampler.
sick.
It's a flying trample. You can pay Naya or it dies on every upkeep. And I got Pendlehaven. This is by an artist that I think I have
I love Pendle. You have a mat.
Yeah, I have a playmat. Dwarven Song, Dreamcoat, Equinox again, Giant Turtle,
Huge.
Divine Offering, Pit Scorpion, Enchantment Altruism. Whoa, Glyph of Destruction.
That
That's
looks
cool.
sick.
Duskwood Boars.
It's like a band symbol from the
Amro Kithkin, Transmutation, that's a cool card. Remove Soul, and the Crookshank Kobolds.
All right.
Beautiful.
So we're going to pull off the rules straight into the big hit.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Vivictus Asmadi. It's a ghost song.
Whoa!
It's a flying. I can play. I can get a bunch of stuff for paying mana.
Jesus, all these legends are flyers.
Yeah.
It's
A
all in-
7 mana, 8 mana flyer with 7, brother. You got
Casimir the Lone Wolf.
Ooh.
It's just a 5/3 legend.
Pretty good.
Dude, legendary creatures
Oh, look,
abound.
another. Jedit Ohanin.
Oh my god.
Oh, you got Urborg.
Urborg.
Yeah.
Flash Flood. Crimson Kobolds. Duskwood Boars.
This is so cool.
Yeah, this
is really cool.
I love these old sets.
I believe the most expensive uncommon that you are looking for is Mana Drain.
Oh, that makes sense.
Checks out.
Not Vampire Bats.
No, I'm not thinking Vampire
Not
Bats.
Wall of Wonder.
Yeah, I imagine not.
What about that 3 mana 2/6 in red that you got? That thing.
Yeah, that's gonna be a beater.
Oh, what did you get?
Uh-oh.
Is this good face?
No, it's just Rasputin.
Incredible.
This is the biggest pull right now.
Yeah, I think it
For-
is.
How much?
He's this. Oh god, sorry.
He is 110.
110, not bad.
All right, Zach. I also pulled your favorite card.
Ah, yes.
Barktooth Warbeard.
Oh, that's Patrick Star.
He's 7 mana legend 6/5 with no other text.
Wow.
Nice.
And I got a Pendlehaven.
Hey.
How much is this box?
I'll double check. I think it's 15K.
Yeah.
15K.
It sits around there.
Yeah.
So,
Hornet
oddly
Cobra?
enough, if some of the hits are a few thousand,
You could get close.
you could get closer on this box than most.
Yeah, 50,
Let's
it's
just
15K.
say I'm not thinking that we're gonna get there so far.
Name just in pencil.
Yes.
You just wrote it there.
This is back, and this was for a long time. A lot of the artists just signed their name on the art on the
Yeah,
card.
so
like,
many have it.
even in the commons, even
Yeah,
in the
it's
rares, like it's on most of them.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's really funny.
This guy, I think, put a year. I think this says 93.
Yeah.
Is Reverberation anything? Or is that just a big bunch of trash?
Really big?
At least I got another legend. The Riven Turnbull.
Oh,
Oh yeah, this guy.
He's a 5/7 and he can tap to add black mana.
Wow.
Would you like to swing your 5/7 or
Well,
get
he's
one
a 7
black
mana 5/7, so either way, I think the game is over. I would like to summon Zach for a cameo that he may rip.
Bring him in.
Bring him in, boss.
All right, let's surf this. Also, I can't believe no one has said Elder Dragons are in this set.
Yeah.
This is where Commander comes from.
Nico Bolas.
think so. Nicol
Any of the
Bolas.
Elder Dragons
What?
could be your commander, and that was the
Yeah,
idea.
Palladium Moors.
That's cool.
All right, we're looking at Ramses Overdark.
Oh, good.
What a stupid name.
Destroys a target creature which has an enchantment card played on it.
Well, that's my first D&D OC.
Abomination.
He was an abomination.
I don't know why it
Winds
sounded
of
like you said
Change.
abomination.
Abomination.
Backfire.
Abomination.
Glyph of Life.
Abomination!
Remove soul. Active volcano. It looks like a tropical island, but it's not.
True.
Barbary apes.
Yes.
If apes, monkeys. Or something like that.
Big.
Thank you, Zach.
Nice. Big pack. Big pack.
Overdark is really going to help.
Jack shit.
Here comes the big pack. Nope, that's Sentinel. Don't nobody care about that goofball.
What the heck is that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Wait,
but
the
he
next
looks.
one looks cool.
I mean, he looks really fucking sad and stupid.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Chase, I want you to open this pack.
Okay.
Yeah. Be careful, because the one under that is the rare.
The one under this.
Yeah.
It comes at you quick.
Yeah, he
Comes at you quick.
starts
It comes
punching.
fast, like many of us. Oh, that's cool.
Rogar.
Yeah.
Keep. I'm in the right piles. Evil Eye of Ormsbygor.
Wow, that's all one word. That's amazing.
Ormsbygor. Backfire.
Back shots.
Casimir the Lone Wolf. Giant. Wow, that's a guy.
Oh my god, that.
Oh my god.
Is he cool? He's got a beer belly.
Oh my god, that's revolting.
I actually saw it earlier and just stopped looking at it because it made me uncomfortable.
That looks like a Smiling Friends character.
Oh yeah.
And Emerald Dragonfly and Alabaster Potion.
Alabaster.
Thank you very much, Chase.
Nice.
Nice.
I might be playing kobolds, dude. That's
Yeah,
so
that guy's
sick.
cool. That's really cool.
Let's get a real hit now.
Yeah,
That's
Matt.
Chase of the other channel appearing at the skill check channel
Yes.
on Charlie's channel.
Yes.
This is
That makes
Inception.
sense.
All
That
right,
makes
guys,
sense.
you want to
Yeah,
stop
yeah.
fucking around here?
Yeah.
Kabam! Axelrod Gunnarsson.
It's my favorite.
I did not make that up. That's Axelrod Gunnarsson.
Damn it, he's gonna be worthless.
He's an 8-cost Rakdos. He's got trample, 5/5, and each time a creature is placed in a graveyard during a turn in which Axelrod damaged it, you gain 1 life and he does 1 damage to a target creature.
Of course.
That's not terrible.
Okay. Hammerheim. It's a land.
You think this is repacked? We haven't got
Bloodlust.
anything big yet.
Winds of Change. I think we got $100 Rasputin.
We got a lot of packs to go.
Could be repacked though.
It's
You're
a
wondering,
certainty.
how long ago did you get this?
Like 6 months ago, probably.
That guy's long gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Danny.
It's go,
He skipped
go.
town.
So what's the before I
Tabernacle.
Tabernacle.
what is the price on this box so I know what I'm getting
15K.
into? Oh,
Yeah.
that gets you up in the morning.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a little bit of a. Let's get
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe that was the trick.
Damn it.
Oh, shit.
Hey, no, it just changed.
Yeah.
No. Nope.
Nope,
Wall
it's garbage.
of Opposition.
Ooh, a wall is the rare. Is tough.
Yeah, that's
maybe
bad.
the rare is the
Yucky.
second position.
Yeah, it's actually going to be. Where's your red pile?
Oh, this is a bad repack.
Oh, Lady Orca.
Yeah, I got one.
Yeah, no, this is definitely repacked. I think.
If Danny can't pull
Yeah.
Every time we open a box, it blows my mind that magic still exists. Like they
Charlie?
made it through this time.
You get anything?
You want to tell me about the art on this card?
Oh, what the fuck?
That is a nude woman.
It is just a naked
I'll
woman.
tell you about that.
Fully nude woman.
I've seen one of those before.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
Oh.
He's bullying the cards.
Oh. That's not working.
Wait a minute.
Oh, but it's Boris Devilboom.
Of course.
Penguinz a minor.
With an E or an O.
I can pay 4 to put a minor demon token into play.
Holy shit.
Storm Seeker. Mountain Stronghold. These are new.
Yeah.
All right, Drew, take it home.
All right. I reversed my pack like how
Oh,
Ryan
thank
did.
God. I was going to say that was ass.
Bloodlust.
terrible.
Red Mana Battery.
Red Rocket.
Whoa.
You mean like Fallout, right? You're talking about Fallout?
Fallout.
Giant Strength. Dude, what did they do to fuck that guy up so bad?
Well, he's just shit.
Cold of Carekeep.
Oh, it's the like the long road or whatever. The shit in the road.
Yeah, the long walk.
Yeah.
Surely it gives us at least a mana
All
drain,
shadows?
right?
Yeah.
I would
Flash
hope
counter?
so.
How much is
Turtle?
mana drain worth?
It is 210.
Surely it gives us at least 10 of those,
Did
right?
I have it in
think so.
Archer?
You think we're up to like 500?
Maybe.
Oh, Mountain
probably.
Stronghold and... Oh! Angus McKenzie is a hit.
Is it?
Yes.
260, I think.
All right, we're back.
Angus McKenzie.
We are back.
Everyone is cheering because it's worth money, but when you're going to see this in the game, that card just says a person doesn't do combat
Yeah.
damage. This is going
It's
to be
fog.
horrible.
It is fog.
Every turn.
What is it?
Creatures attack and block as normal, but none deal any damage. All attacking creatures are still tapped.
Oh, Divine Intervention! Yes!
How big?
No, it's not. It's not like that. It's an 8-mana enchantment that says put 2 counters on this card. Remove a counter during your upkeep. When you remove the last counter from Divine Intervention, the game is over and considered a draw.
Our first draw.
That's very cool.
I am playing it.
135.
Oh! I forgot I had a pack to my left. Maybe it was sitting to the side.
Oh my god.
The sticky pack.
Oh, All Hallows Eve.
Oh,
That's
I
big.
love that card.
That's really big. I think that's bigger than Angus.
500.
We're back, baby.
I mean, let me just get through here quick. I don't see anything that good.
Yeah.
Sick rare though. Sick.
That's a cool rare.
Dude,
Yeah.
All Hallows Eve is so
Huge.
sick to...
Oh, Nicobolus.
Oh!
You
How
have
many?
to play him.
That's the guy.
How many schmeckles?
About 200.
Woo!
OG Nicol Bolas.
Jesus. Look at those pips.
He's lounging.
2 blue, 2 black, 2 red, 2 generic.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Godspeed.
Not bad. Not a terrible box.
Yeah, but so much
Would
fun.
have been worse. That was cool.
Yeah.
So, if you want to see us play with these cards, you can go over to Skill Check and actually watch us sleeve these make decks, play them, which is crazy. Nobody plays Magic this old.
That's true. It's just us.
for
It's just us.
I'm going to play all planes in Divine Intervention.
Hello? You in there? Can you hear me? I'm just kidding. That's called acting. And speaking of acting, it's that special time of year again where we look at the top 5 worst films of the year. By we, I mean me. I give you the only objectively correct top 5 worst list. And let me tell you, after going through the garbage here, dumpster diving, I found that 2025 was a pretty special year for some bad super stinkers. It was tough, but I was able to narrow it down to the worst films of the year. Looking for the worst movies of the year. I know 2 off the top of my head. I know the worst and the second worst. What we need to fill in is the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Captain America Brave New World was bad, but definitely not top 5 worst of the year bad. This one's obviously in the top 5. Electric State was a $300 million super stinker disaster film. That was absolutely horrible. Snow White might be in there. I'll put it up here to the side. It might be just out of the top 5 worst of the year, we'll see. Though it does say something that it's one of the first films I've ever walked out of. So maybe it should be in there by default just for that fact. Woman in the Yard, also very strong in contention there for top 5 worst. I don't think Until Dawn will make it, but I'm going to put it there just in case so we can see all of the worst films of the year. Hurry Up Tomorrow probably makes it somewhere in there. Do people still delude themselves into thinking this is a good movie, or have we finally evolved past that point? I remember I caught a lot of heat for talking about how absolute dog shit Hurry Up Tomorrow was. Are we finally allowed to just say that confidently, or are people still trying to defend the movie? It was actually easy. War of the Worlds is the worst. Yeah, spoiler alert. There's nothing worse than War of the Worlds. It is quite possibly one of the worst movies I've ever seen, because it is just a 2-hour Amazon ad, basically. And can't even just have the audacity to be somewhat watchable. We already know what the worst is. You spoiled it. Megan 2's bad, but doesn't make top 5. Jurassic World Rebirth is bad, doesn't make top 5. War of the Worlds, we already know it's the worst. But let's pretend that it's still... we don't know what the worst movie of the year is yet. Who's to say? Him was bad, I don't know if it'll make top 5, though. I'll put it there just in case. Where's I Know What You Did Last Summer? That one will comfortably be in there somewhere, but I haven't seen it yet. Did I scroll past it? I don't think it was that long ago, was it? Tron Ares. Tron Ares was bad, but it's not in the top 5. At least Tron Ares had visual spectacle that was cool. These up here already have nothing redeeming about them. Tron Ares is bad. Jared Leto's fucking awful. Jared Leto is box office poison that instantly tanks anything that he appears in. But it's still not to this level of these. Okay, are my eyes closed or something here? I haven't seen Strangers Chapter 2, nor have I seen I Know What You Did Last Summer. And I'm pretty sure they came out in this area. Because they definitely weren't in December. This is crazy. Where were they? Okay, so here's Strangers Chapter 2, September. July! Wow, I didn't know it was that far back. Okay. These are definitely the worst movies of the year. So now let's order them. Pretty competitive. Pretty competitive year for dog shit. What about Five Nights at Freddy's 2? Nah, I think these are worse. At least I had somewhat of an enjoyable time watching that, even though I think the movie's terrible. These were miserable. It might be I Know What You Did Last Summer. I think probably I Know What You Did Last Summer would be number 5. Yeah. This movie just sucks major ass across the board. The characters are extremely stupid, and you as the viewer, like, are just insulted for even being there. It's just genuinely, like, a mind-numbing film. It also ruins the legacy characters from the series. Spoiler alert. Does anyone care? I doubt it. In fact, I'll do you a favor. The main bad guy, well, the surprise main bad guy after the main bad guy reveal is Freddie Prinze Jr., which is crazy. That's a crazy decision to have him be like the ultimate bad guy after the way he was established in the series already. Let's not act like the original was good. Yeah, but the original's at least charming. It's still like a classic. This is just trash. There's just nothing to like about this movie at all. Genuinely nothing. Heel turn for Freddy. Yeah, it's a nonsensical one too. The monkey at least had some interesting kills. Monkey wasn't good, but it wasn't this bad. So I know what you did last summer, 2025. Congratulations. Rank 5 of the worst films of the year. Number 4, it's not going to be him. Him's not good, but it's not nearly to these Titans levels. I think objectively, Strangers Chapter 2 is a worse movie than Until Dawn. But Until Dawn shamelessly borrows a beloved IP's name and then makes something that's not even remotely related to it. This movie has nothing to do with the games. This movie is basically just like a joke film. More of a dark comedy than anything. You've probably seen the viral clip where that guy drinks some water and then blows up on the toilet. He just gets insta-gibbed. That's from this movie. It just has nothing to do with the game at all, and what it is they're stuck in a loop and they need to survive until dawn to break it, but they can't because everything's trying to kill them. A bunch of scary things out there. The water makes you explode for some reason. Isn't The Strangers kind of doing the same thing, borrowing an IP and ruining it? In a different way, yeah, you can make that argument. But Strangers Chapter 1, which this directly follows, was just as shitty, if not shittier. Until Dawn is a game that is being adapted into a movie that has actually nothing in common with the game at all. It's between these two for number 4, I would say. Oh man, but then I didn't even consider Woman in the Yard or Hurry Up Tomorrow. Oh wow, what a competitive year. Wow, this is a cutthroat. This is a chin scratcher indeed. I think I'm going to take Woman in the Yard out. Really bad movie, but it at least tried something at the end of the film to make it interesting. It fucking fell on its face. It was very flat. But they did attempt something at the end, which is more than I can say for these two at least. Oh man. Yeah, and as the title advertises, there was a woman in that yard. And that woman stayed in that fucking yard, I'll tell you what. So if you went there for a woman being in the yard, that kind of action, you get it in droves. I think I'm going to give it to Until Dawn. I think Until Dawn is the 4th worst film of the year. I think. No. Yeah. No. The Strangers Chapter 2 also has the gall to be a trilogy. There's a Strangers Chapter 3 coming, and there's something to that. It is probably going to be one of the worst trilogies. Like, statistically, one of the worst trilogies. The first one fucking super flop that's terrible. The second one super flop that's terrible. No doubt the third one will super flop and also be terrible. That's pretty special. Like, this is one really long, drawn-out hemorrhoid. Until Dawn is just one movie. I'll give it to Strangers Chapter 2. I'm locking it in. Strangers Chapter 2. You get a collective like 4.5 hours worth of irredeemable garbage. Strangers Chapter 2. Number 3 now. It's between Snow White and Hurry Up Tomorrow. One of these will escape without being on the top 5. maybe as an honorable mention, they'll live on. Snow White, I really didn't like it all. I don't think it's the worst live action ever made, though. I think it's very bad, and at points unwatchably boring, but I don't think it's the worst Disney live action has done so far. I left the theater, though, because I didn't really feel like waiting till the end. I left with like 20-some minutes to go, which has never really happened before. That's pretty special. Hurry Up Tomorrow, though, is basically just The Weeknd giving a very artsy concert, which I can see why people that love The Weeknd might find things to like about it, because you basically just listen to his music and him brooding, which they probably think is cool. In fact, I know exactly who this audience is. I know who this was made for. Was it made for me? Oh, I didn't even know it flopped. I guess even the audience it was made for didn't bother going to see it. Tough. This is competitive. Snow White or Hurry Up Tomorrow? The scene where he says, "Shut up," kills me every time. Hurry Up Tomorrow does have some iconic scenes with The Weeknd. Snow White has nothing. So maybe that's a point for Hurry Up Tomorrow to get out of number 3. Because I do remember more from Hurry Up Tomorrow than I do Snow White. Him being tied to the bed, having gasoline poured on him, and he starts singing a cappella. There are some good moments in there. Good, as in, like, silly, stupid. Yeah, maybe I'm going to give number 3 to Snow White. Because you can at least enjoy Hurry Up Tomorrow as a fun, bad movie. No one's ever going to turn this movie on again if they had the misfortune of watching it once. There's not a whole lot of enjoyment. I'm going to give number 3 to Snow White, honorable mention to Hurry Up Tomorrow. I think that makes the most sense. Number 2, it's Electric State. I knew going into this where Electric State would be. This movie super sucks, but the thing that really sets it apart from the rest is that it had a budget of $320 million, one of the most expensive films ever made, and I think very few people watched it, and those that did, like me, really were cursed with some very trash garbage. It's bad. I don't know where this $320 million went. Like, some of the visuals are fine, but it's not, like, mind-boggling. And it definitely didn't go to any writers, because this movie is just bad. Like, the whole narrative is bad. The only thing good about it is the world, and apparently it's because it's just borrowed directly from the book. Laundering scheme tier. It has to be money laundering, right? With a budget as bloated as this, it's gotta be to some extent money laundering. Russo Bros need to stick to superhero movies. Maybe. If this is the best they can deliver outside of the superhero genre, absolutely. Electric State is an astronomically bad adaptation of its source material. The author was so insulted he refused to have his name credited. Is that true? I didn't know that. I mean, I knew that they, like, bought the rights to do this. I didn't know that the author refused to be credited. But yeah, easily number 2 worst movie of the year. No doubt. And number 1, surprise to no one, it's War of the Worlds. This is a historically bad film. There's just actually nothing to like about it. But this is a movie you could kick back with your friends and have a good laugh with. This is a movie you can point and laugh at comfortably. Like, you won't be bored if you're watching this to shit on it. It gives you endless material to insult. All the Amazon product placement. To call it product placement is so underselling it. It's not product placement. The whole movie is about the product. A core component to the ending is the goofy boyfriend who's like, I work for Amazon and I actually fucking love it. Wait, Mr. Ice Cube, we have to get you this fucking thing. I forgot. I think it was a thumb drive. But you're too far away. Wait, Eureka! Amazon drones. I can fly an Amazon drone. So then you have an entire chase sequence of the Amazon drone avoiding alien spaceships. He's like, oh, Amazon drone. Yeah, my Amazon drone. Fuck. And then they like hack into that guy's phone to flip over the Amazon drone once he like turtles it. And it's all just about the Amazon drone program. Didn't they also use real war footage with aliens edited in? I read that. I didn't bother to dive too deeply, but I read they used actual conflict and then just basically photoshopped the aliens into it, which were fundamentally just Unity models, like Unity assets. God, it looked so terrible. Didn't the director go on record to say he didn't intend to promote Amazon? I didn't see that, but if he did, that's the biggest lie I've ever heard. That man's nose must have grown 50 sizes. That is some liar plants for hire right there. Amazon was a core part of the story. I watched the movie for the end credits. I forgot, what were the end credits? I remember he becomes a YouTuber. He becomes, what was the name of the hacker guy? I can't remember. Big Buster or something? I can't remember. Who were they chasing? Disruptor. That's what it was. Disruptor. We're all disruptors now. I get War of the Worlds is dog shit awful, but Charlie, nothing, and I mean nothing beats Fuck My Son for the worst movie of the year. About an elderly woman that finds her mutant son who can't get laid, a young woman. Where did you even find a movie called Fuck My Son? That can't be an actual real production. That has to be some shit you found on like an indie site. Like just a random spot promoting like student film garbage or something. What is that? It's on the Wikipedia page. No way, I'm gonna look it up right now. This feels like something I probably can't put on screen. I just googled Fuck My Son. What a crazy thing to Google. American comedy horror film from Todd Rohal, based on the comic Fuck My Son, A Tale of Terror. What is this? Premiered September 11th, 2025. September 11th for the premiere of this. Wow, huh? A box office performance of $33,000. What a smash hit. A trend I've been making fun of a lot recently is how anytime something comes out that's good, it then gets paraded around as though it's the best thing ever made. And also, on the flip side of that coin, anything that comes out that's not very good or kind of mid is then just labeled as the worst thing ever made. It's an affront to God. Human beings have never produced something so dog shit like this. It's just these extremes. And it's always so annoying. Like, especially like with horror movies. I talk about this one a lot because every 6 or so months there's a horror film that comes out and it's like, it's the scariest thing ever. You're going to fucking poop. It's gonna be so toot. It's that's the noise you'll be making watching this one because it's that scary. It's gonna grip your fucking heart and do this with it. It's just, it's so extreme and you watch it, it's like, okay, I mean, that was a fine movie, I guess. And they do that for anything. So now it's extremely commonplace that anything that comes out that's good has like a 99 on Metacritic or a 98 on Rotten Tomatoes. And then you play it or watch it and it's just like, oh, I mean, it was good. I don't know if it's like a near perfect masterpiece, but I mean, it was good. Like, everything just has to be taken to like the most extreme level of glaze or the most extreme level of spit. It's I don't know, it's just, I'm very tired of that. So when Project Hail Mary came out, the reason for this tangent, Project Hail Mary has been getting this same treatment where it's being labeled the best sci-fi film in the last decade or like 2 decades, whatever they're saying. One of the best movies ever made. 2026 has been blessed with a gift from the heavens above with Project Hail Mary. And I see that and I'm just immediately turned off. I just go in with this preconception that it'll probably be good, but it's never going to live up to this hype. I just always think it sets things up for failure. But in the case of Project Hail Mary, I do think the glaze is warranted. I don't know if I'd go as far as to call it the best sci-fi film of the last decade or the best sci-fi film ever made, but holy shit is it an extremely good movie. Now, I haven't read the book this is based on. I know it's a beloved book, and from my understanding, based on everything that I'm seeing from everyone that's watched this movie, this is a very faithful adaptation of the source material, which... trust me, if you're standing up, you need to sit down, because this is a big revelation that'll knock you off your fucking feet. It seems like the winning formula when it comes to adaptations is staying true to the source material, because we're seeing time and time again that when the studios decide to faithfully adapt something, they usually make something much better than if they try and do it their own way, pinky up thinking they know better. We're more sophisticated than this shit that we're adapting, like Halo, for example. We know better. And so I'm happy to see that fans of the book are enjoying this movie, because even as someone who hasn't read the book, I really enjoyed this movie. I imagine it's probably even better if you have read the book, but for me, having no knowledge at all of what this movie was even about, I was pretty blown away from start to finish. The movie comes out of the gate swinging. We are introduced to our main character, Grace, who wakes up on a ship. His other crew members did not survive this journey. He is having a hard time remembering why he's there. This is because he's been in a coma for quite some time, so his memories are slowly coming back to him, and we're being drip-fed information as to what his mission is and why he's there. And we learn the stakes. We learn what's going on, about how the Earth is in a dreadful situation, an extinction event, where the sun's energy is being sapped by alien parasites. And the only way that they can think to try and combat this and stop the sun from getting just fucking slurped up here, having all the juices just gobbled up by the parasites, is to go to a distant planet that is 11 light years away, because it's the only star they can find that isn't being dimmed by this parasite, the astrophage. And our main character, Grace, embarks on that mission to try and find the means to fight back against this, to save the planet, because within a few generations, humanity would be extinct. Starvation setting in within 30 years, just huge pandemonium, and Grace is now humanity's last hope. Most of this film is just Grace in the spaceship doing some science, some fucking full-blown Bill Nye experimentation here. And my God, is it captivating. Ryan Gosling's performance here, I think, is spectacular. I think he does an extremely good job. This isn't like his normal, stoic mystery man type shit. This is a high energy, joking goofball of a man who isn't just one-dimensional. He has plenty of vulnerable moments. He is very well written, and they do a great job of making you want to root for him. And then there's another character who is not a human. It is Rocky, who is an alien life form whom Grace and him have a chance encounter. And turns out Rocky is there on a similar mission, trying to figure out how to stop the astrophage to save his people, his homeworld. And this is really the emotional beat, the emotional meat of the entire film, is this friendship between Rocky and Grace. And one thing I really appreciate is Rocky is an alien that doesn't look like your standard, normal alien that's supposed to make you go oh, it's so, human-esque, so that way you can connect to it. It's a fucking pile of rocks. It's like a little, crab guy of rocks. He looks like a Magic the Gathering card. And he's got no face. He's got, a giant gaping asshole on the bottom of him. But this character is so well written, and this friendship is so thoroughly explored, that it is just something that immediately draws you in. I found it fucking impossible to not smile with these two here. There's real chemistry there. And, the writing, when they use jokes, actually made me giggle. It's not just lazy Marvel quips and quirkiness like that. And it's not only about comedy or anything. It's just such a really well-written friendship that is just touching. And the movie really respects your intelligence as a viewer. It is actually using real, science, and, they're actually working hard to find the solution through, tons of experimentation, trial and error, actual methodology here, as opposed to just, random happenstance and getting lucky. Ryan Gosling takes the bite of a sandwich and he goes, wait, this bread, it's wet. The solution, soggy bread, it's jogged my memory, that kind of thing. It's they're actually working through this issue in a logical manner. But of course, like I was just talking about, the most touching part of the film is this friendship. It's a very human thing, even though one of the characters here is not human. And I think something that really helps sell this to make it feel so impactful is the fact that Rocky is not a fully CGI character. Rocky is an animatronic puppet. There, of course, is CGI blended into that craft as well, but the fact that Rocky has a physical presence, being like an actual puppet that's interacting with Ryan Gosling in a physical space, it really helps make it feel much more real. So like I feel like it helps elevate that connection while watching this film and the friendship that's unfolding here. I really don't have a single complaint about this movie. Every character is well written. The visuals are stunning. The action moments, even though there's not many, are good. The music was extraordinary. I want to make a special mention of the music here. My God, it was going ballistic. So yeah, I gotta say, Project Hail Mary, it definitely lived up to the very high praise it's getting. I think it is warranted. I really, really, really liked it. Yeah, that's really about it. Yep. Almost 3 years ago now, I made a couple videos talking about a YouTuber whose house had been firebombed. The YouTuber's name is Friendly Jordies, and he was very outspoken about corruption, calling out bad actors in the local government, and for all of this, his house was targeted in a firebombing. And actually, the fucking stooge that was in charge of this, the mysterious boogeyman, actually went for the double scoop on the firebombing. So they started by firebombing Friendly Jordy's neighbor, thinking that it was his house. Then when they realized they got the wrong house, he came back to firebomb Friendly Jordy's house. And luckily, no one died in this, but the intention was pretty clear, either to scare or kill Friendly Jordy's. And now, almost 3 years later, there is someone who has been arrested for this.
Some not-so-breaking news. One of the guys that firebombed my house back in 2022 has been sentenced to 5 years in prison. Now, I'm grateful to the judge, the arson squad, and the financial crimes unit for all their hard work in securing this little bit of justice. That was a Herculean slog for the investigators to get it to that point at all, but this is hardly a definite end to this saga, and there are a few things that really need to be said in wake of this conviction.
The man who was arrested and now facing 5 years in the slammer is an associate of a well-known crime family in the area. His name is Tuffy, or Toofy, Goofy, whatever the fuck it is, however you say his name. He's 39 years old, and they're describing it as a professional attack on a journalist. But don't worry, he's not a monster. He has a lot of remorse here. He feels really bad about it. He even made an apology video for it. So he is clearly feeling a lot of sorrow for his misdeeds, no doubt. In a video he sent from prison, he said, "I would just like to apologize from the bottom of my heart." Aww. Alright. Not guilty. Free this man. He clearly feels bad about firebombing 2 people's homes. He's no longer a threat. He's seen the error of his ways. That is a touching sentiment. He went on to say that he believed in God and said he was over his life of crime after spending so much of his 20s and 30s behind bars. Quote, "I'd rather die than return back to jail," he said. He's turning a new leaf. You can clearly see it here. I mean, it's just an honest mistake. Who hasn't accidentally firebombed 2 people's homes after being paid to throw those firebombs in the first place? It could happen to anybody. And this is a guy who clearly recognizes that these evil deeds are best left in the past. And it's crazy that he's only getting 5 years, by the way. He is a career criminal, and he's still getting 5 years after firebombing 2 people's homes, which is literally like attempted murder. At least it should be. That was the whole goal. At least one of the goals, either to have Friendly Jordy's fear for his life or take his life here in the firebombing attack. It's just crazy that he's only getting 5 years. Maybe that apology really did weigh heavy on the heart of the judge.
The person convicted of the firebombing is a man by the name of Tufi Jr. Tuisi Alua. I don't know if I'm saying that name correctly, and frankly, I don't care. I've never met Tufi Jr. I've never mentioned him in videos before. In fact, before he was charged, I'd never even heard of his name, nor do I hope to hear it ever again. It does, however, open a big question, a question which was not satisfactorily answered in court, and perhaps even more shamefully, not examined by most of the media. Why would a man with no connection to me whatsoever go to the effort of stealing a Mercedes, cloning number plates, surveilling my house, and then setting that house on fire?
As Friendly Jordy's points out here, it's very interesting that the judge recognizes this as a professional attack, a coordinated attack here on Friendly Jordy's. They even call him the Muscle. That's what he was hired to do. Yet, at no point do they try and inquire as to who hired him and why. What were his motives? Why would someone whom Jordy has never heard of, never mentioned at all, go through so much effort to firebomb his fucking house? That's awfully strange, right? Isn't that a little weird? They fully recognize that this was a paid, planned attack on friendly Geordies, yet don't bother to try and uncover who planned and paid for this attack. It wasn't just some random act of violence where this guy just had 2 firebombs sitting on his passenger seat from, last Halloween where he won his, the pyro from TF2 or something, and he decided, all right, I'll just throw these 2 firebombs over here. This was clearly a planned attack, and they recognize that, yet don't even give the slightest smidgen of effort to try and figure out who's behind it. That definitely smells a bit fishy.
I think I know the answer. I'd wager some prominent defamation lawyers, property developers, and politicians also know the answer. There were some unsurprisingly cowardly and oblique hints of an answer in the ABC article about the conviction, an article which refers to me as an internet personality. Mr. Shanks, who uses the moniker Friendly Geordies online, had mentioned the Alameddine crime network in a video 2 months before his home was set alight. Just mention the Alameddines. A lot of people mention the Alameddines, Anton. The Alameddine crime network might be one of the most prolific gangs in this nation's history. They're nightly news. Some people bank their entire journalistic careers on talking about the Alameddines. They don't get their houses burnt down. How characteristically low from the ABC, especially when even the judge labelled the firebombing as, quote, a professional attack on a journalist. Anton here acts as if it was a coincidence after reading out a BuzzFeed article on a stream.
I found this fascinating. What Geordies is mentioning here is that some journalists, like the one he's pointing out, are making the insinuation that because Geordies has mentioned the Alameddine crime family before, prior to his house being set ablaze, that maybe it's not a coinky-dink. Maybe the two are related. But Geordies hits him with the counterpoint here. He gets him with the Uno reverse with some very basic logic that the Alameddine crime family is one of the most infamous in the area, talked about daily as a piece of nightly news, where tons of journalists make their whole career solely around reporting on the Alameddine crime family, and yet none of them seem to be getting fucking napalm striked here like Geordies was. So it's a pretty weak insinuation to make that doesn't pass the smell test, especially because it's not like that's all Friendly Geordies talks about is the Alameddine crime family or anything like that.
This is not at all to excuse Toofy Jr. He tried to kill someone. He burnt down a house with no regard for not only the other potential occupants, but neighbours, which were the elderly, and for all he knew, could have been children. Even worse, because his motives are murky and seemingly transactional, he seems to have just been waved away with he was just the hired muscle. He tried to kill people. He burnt down a house. Things are a little bit scary in New South Wales if you ask me. At this point, you can order a firebombing, not only not get caught, but the muscle who does get caught gets about the same time as it takes to do a bachelor's degree.
The guy responsible for double-fisting firebombs that could have killed multiple people is getting an extremely light, soft sentence of just 5 years, which is basically just the amount of time between Stranger Things seasons. And not only is he getting a light sentence, but the people that hired him, that they openly are saying that he was the muscle. So they recognize he was the muscle for someone, but the people that he is the muscle for, they're not even bothering to try and investigate and find out the identity of. They're just like, oh yeah, he was the muscle, and that's it. That's as far as we're gonna go. It's just so blatant. It's so obvious. It's so fucked.
Pretty good risk to reward ratio, if you ask me. Over the past few years, I've faced multiple different criminal investigations and charges over what apparently in New South Wales is a far more serious crime, making YouTube videos. I don't think it's hyperbole to say that there were far more investigative and legal resources thrown at botched attempts to punish me than there were at punishing the firebombers.
If you followed Friendly Geordies at all for any length of time, you are probably familiar with the fucking ringer they have put this man through over the years. The justice system over there is trying so hard to bend them over their knee and spank his cheeks red every chance they get for even the slightest things. They will go to extremes for him, all because he posts videos online talking about corruption. Meanwhile, a firebomber who firebombed 2 houses, a career criminal as well, by the way, so he has a history too, gets significantly less resources put into that investigation. It's fucking crazy.
How can a man be charged and sentenced to 5 years in prison for a firebombing and the courts get to know nothing about his motives?
No, they know everything that needs to be known about his motive. He was hired to do it. He was the muscle. Hired by who? Cares. Who cares? They don't give a fuck. Just gonna send him to jail for just a little brief period of time here and just let this whole thing quietly die down so that way people don't ask too many questions about this whole firebombing, hoopla, that kind of thing. Because there's no need to dig any deeper on who might have paid for this kind of thing to happen. You know, it's just, he was the muscle. Ah, come on, let's move on.
Why certain politicians like Rose Jackson, who originally condemned the firebombing, albeit in the most performative Twitter-approved template, that not only was mostly about her and how awesome she thinks she is, she also just had to add, right after I was nearly killed, that I'm, quote, way off and gross. I'll tell you what I think is way off, Rose. Hanging out with and propping up a development company which, again, shares the name of the video I was forced to remove due to death threats, and doing so knowingly. You know. That's what I think is gross, you self-aggrandizing transactional party machine cog.
Yeah, over there, Jordy's has got a lot of very powerful enemies. I've made a couple videos talking about Jordy's and everything that has gone on recently. It is not an overstatement to say that he literally does put his life on the line for the journalism that he does. And it's not just him, he does have a team as well that takes the same risk. They have some very powerful enemies over there. And it is very clear that they are willing to go to extreme lengths to silence Jordy's and his team. Keep in mind, the firebombing attack, they didn't know Jordy's wasn't home. They had no idea. They also didn't know about the neighbors' whereabouts if they were home. That very well could have ended with bodies. Just corpses. Charred corpses from this hired muscle coming out and firebombing these two houses. All to silence Jordy's and his team for their reporting on the blatant corruption over there.
Why do the Alameddines, an organised crime gang, give so much access to certain ABC journalists? Why is the ABC so ardent in defending these certain journalists? And why isn't anyone able to get enough evidence to bring whoever ordered the firebombing into a courtroom? I'll tell you, there's some very strange things happening in New South Wales.
Very strange things indeed going on over there. I'm happy to at least see that someone was arrested in connection to the firebombing. That's good. 5 years is kind of laughable considering the crime. But I mean, I guess at least there was some semblance of, like, you know, catching the bad guys here to a certain extent. But there is a lot of work to be done. I feel like there was definitely a lot more that should have come from this. And hopefully, it will. Hopefully, there will be more that comes from this, God willing. Because holy shit, it is unhinged. Anyways, wishing the best for Friendly Jordy's here. Hopefully, he and his team can stay safe. And just wanted to give you the update. That's about it. So, yep. I remember growing up, there was a cliche in movies and shows where if a character would die, like clockwork, they would always say, but don't worry, they're not really gone. They still live on in your heart forever. And it's about how the character's memory and their legacy is able to transcend death. And they're alive to a certain extent because you remember them. It's metaphorical. But in reality, in the modern day and age, this idea can actually be literal. Thanks to technology! Did that scare you? Did that jump scare you? Does technology frighten you? Well, this one might. Thanks to our advances in one field in particular, AI, there are some fucking worms, some parasitic zombies out there that when someone passes away, they then get dollar signs in their eyes like Mr. Krabs because they can still get some usefulness out of them. They can parade that corpse around thanks to AI, where they can kind of like revive it with some of this like fucking forbidden necromancy so they can continue to squeeze doubloons out of their image. It's like Kabuto from Naruto, where he like revives ancient ninjas to use for his own gain. Except in this way, there is no semblance of humanity left in the corpses. It is literally just these husks, these like fucking skinwalkers that just only care about money, that will use AI to bring someone back so they can continue to make money off of them even after they've died. And unfortunately, there is no one that has been exploited more, both while they were alive in their elder years and now, especially since they passed away, than Stan Lee. And unfortunately, Stan Lee has been like this golden goose that they continue to parade around. He passed away many years ago, and since then he has been fucking minted on the blockchain as an NFT. His Twitter account was still actively being used to peddle some dog shit. He's been used in multiple, like, crypto projects. It goes on and on, out the wazoo. And now Los Angeles Comic Con has announced that there is going to be an AI Stan Lee attending where guests can pay money to get a picture with AI Stan Lee as well as have a conversation with him. So fork over some clams and you get to interact with AI Stan Lee. Excelsior! It's exactly what he would want, I'm sure. The people that own his image now get to just continue to put him on the puppet strings and have him dance for them, where they can put whatever words in his mouth that they want. And of course he has no say-so in it because he is no longer here. He shed the mortal coil quite a long time ago, and yet since then, somehow, there are still people that are using him to make money for themselves. It's just greed. I think it is so sick and twisted. And the company that owns his likeness is trying to prop this up as like a positive thing. So the studio that owns the rights to his likeness is Cartoon Studios, and the company that developed the hologram is called Proto Hologram, and they have big plans for rapid commercial expansion of its Stan Lee IP. This was a human being, by the way, that they're now talking about like it's the fucking E3 showcase and how they're going to be like unveiling a new console here. We got big plans for Stan Lee now that he's dead, and we can do whatever we want with his likeness. Yeah, get excited. It's big moves coming from our Stan Lee IP. How is that anything but ghoulish? Oh my god. Such as collectible cards and a refresh of his wax statue. Collectible cards. They're making a Stan Lee trading card game. Oh my fucking goodness. And of course, the hologram AI is part of the same push. So comic book fans can enter a special 1,500 square foot booth to interact with AI Stan Lee, who appears in the rectangular box. The AI avatar may even make a surprise appearance in other parts of the convention, such as a panel. So even when he's dead, he's still being put to work. What great news, Cartoon Studios. Wow, what saints over there. And if being trapped as an AI construct after your death for an eager audience feels a bit like something that would happen in a Marvel comic book, the folks behind the Lee avatar have already worked out a defense of the project. We'll never put words in his mouth that aren't in line with things he spoke about in his lifetime. This is according to Bob Saboni, who is the head of the Stan Lee division at Cartoon Studios. They have their own division at Cartoon Studios dedicated to figuring out ways to still use Stan Lee's image to make money off of him. Of course, with no say-so from Stan Lee, he is dead. So by the very definition, you are putting words in his mouth because he is not saying those words. He never said those words. He is not with us any longer. This is the worst goddamn defense of it you could possibly muster. No matter how you spin it, these are not his words. You can try and base it off things he said in the past, whatever, doesn't change the fact that they are still not his words and his thoughts. It's fucking crazy. They are all designed to just make money off of him. Fortunately, with decades of footage capturing his thoughts on so many subjects, we can build a voice that stays true. Not always word for word, but always faithful in spirit, context, and intent. Bull fucking loney. That is Barnack Hall. That is horseradish. The intent is just for you to make money off of Stan Lee. It's so sick, man. Holy shit. Now, there is some cases where AI, after an actor passes away, like, I can actually understand. James Earl Jones. James Earl Jones is the iconic voice of Darth Vader, and before he passed, he wanted, like, it was his desire to have his voice immortalized forever as Darth Vader. So, as I understand it, he did sign, like, the rights to his voice in AI form for Darth Vader. That is what he wanted because he always wanted to be remembered as Darth Vader. I think that's somewhat wholesome. That one I can understand. This is so far removed from that, you can't even make a good faith argument to compare the two. I tried to dig in to see if Stan Lee had ever, like, agreed to be, like, digitized post-mortem, like weakened at Bernie's through CGI or anything, because he passed away in 2018, which predates like the AI resurrection jutsu that we now have access to. So there's no way he could have ever agreed to that in the same way that James Earl Jones did or anything. So I was trying to see if there was anything that even like resembled an agreement like that. And the only thing I can find is that the people that manage Stan Lee's likeness, like his managers of the Stan Lee IP, agreed to using his likeness in media for the next like 20 years or something. So like signing over the rights to Stan Lee's likeness. But I don't know if Stan Lee was a part of that conversation. And even if he was, you have to wonder under what circumstances, because it's important to remember in the later years of Stan Lee's life, there were tons of allegations of elder abuse and manipulation with tons and tons of footage of alleged mistreatment from a lot of greedy assholes constantly looking to fucking pull money out from Stan Lee's ass every step of the way by any means necessary, come hell or high water. So I don't know for sure if he ever like explicitly agreed to it, and if he did he even know what he was agreeing to? Because again, a lot of things were kept hidden from him that Stan Lee had supposedly agreed to. Others had kind of misled him, allegedly. And now that he has passed, that is still seemingly the case here, where he is just not able to rest. They have a whole division dedicated to finding ways of exploiting Stan Lee's image, apparently, at Cartoon Studios. That's... what the fuck? Like, what? How, in any way, shape, or form, could anyone possibly view this in anything other than just greedy, dystopian garbage? Just let him rest, man. I think this shit super sucks. Someone can die, and a company can just come through, buy the rights to their likeness, and then just make an AI model that can spout whatever fucking garbage it wants it to. It's so fucking shameless to me. Also, looking into it a bit more, the rights to his likeness are actually a very contentious subject. It seems like it was a messy battle about Stan Lee's image after passing. So there's a lot of meat and potatoes there, but ultimately I guess it ended up in the hands of Cartoon Studios, who now has a whole section carved out to finding ways to milk Stan Lee's image even further, making a collectible trading card game, the AI attendance at Comic Cons. I imagine there will be another big Web3 crypto push for Stan Lee's image here, would be my guess, as part of their Stan Lee IP expansion protocol that they're excited about. I hate it. That's really about it. See ya.